92 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Friday, November 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 77. Coming up on OTB, Big Fave, Marlon Favorite joins the show at 8 a.m. And we talk to Ryan Fowler of Alabama Radio at 8:30. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTB, Friday, November 3rd, 2023. And it's game time, boys. That's right. The buildup is almost over. Tomorrow, your LSU Tigers going to seek to invade the lands of T-Town. And I'm feeling it in my blood, y'all. I feel it in my bones. Turkey season's here. It's championship season. And what better way to start the feast than to eat the flesh of a decaying empire? I feel like Alaric, and I'm at the gates of Rome, Jake, and we've been sieging it for a while, and I'm ready to tear this down. I'm ready to get inside their gates, steal their women, eat their food, topple their statues, and enslave their kids. I'm out for blood, Jake. It's a bloody Friday, and it's going to be a bloody Saturday night. Saturday night, college game day, T-Town. Let's go. And make no mistake, I've been telling Alabama fans this constantly over the last couple of days, but this is it. This is it. This is the beginning of the end. They are on the decline, like the Western Roman Empire when it fell. All these things come to an end, right? And this is a message for all you Alabama fans listening out there. I've been saying, I'm going to keep saying it. You need to recognize this. You've already peaked. I don't care if you're 15, 30, 40, 50, whatever. You're going to die without ever experiencing the success that you've had over these last 10 to 15 years, right? And this is where the pain starts. This is where every single day that you spend on this earth for the rest of your miserable little gump life will be spent pining for your youth, pining for a better time when you were better before you fell. And yeah, maybe you get lucky and you win something here or there because that's how it works, but you ain't never going to go through what you just went through again. And that's an awful feeling. Well, we can all hope to be better, hope to attain greater heights than we've known to this point previously. You never will. You have to live with the fact that you're like a washed-up athlete that never found out their identity after sports, right? You're successful businessman who got lucky in his 20s and never brought anything of worth to society and drinks himself to an early grave because he has no self-confidence left because, again, he's always yearning for yesteryear, okay? And this is where it starts. 2 in a row, 3 of 5, BK about to two-piece, 2-0 Nick Saban, and it's all on the heels of JD5 and this offense, and I'm fired up, and I'm ready to kick some Alabama ass, Jake.
I love everything that you said there. Yeah, because if you do exactly what you're talking about, that will change the narrative.
Yeah.
If you beat them 2 years in a row, if the same starting quarterback does it, we've given you all the stats. We've given you all the numbers and all the first time since when. If you go in there and you beat them, it completely changes the narrative of who they are and who you are as well.
I mean, second loss in T-Town in a single year. You already got embarrassed by a Texas team that isn't even that good. A Texas team beats you by 10 in T-Town. A Texas team that doesn't even control their own destiny as far as the playoff is concerned. Get the hell out of here. 2 losses. I mean, look, you got Jimbo beating you now. Kirby's already cucked you and replaced you. Like, it's over, Alabama. It's over. And tomorrow, it is a Conan type of day. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. I cannot wait to see all those sad Alabama fans in the stands tomorrow, and those frat boys who later that night are crying and their girlfriend's mad at them. They can't get it up because they're so deeply upset by the fact that LSU just came into T-Town and whooped their ass. I can't wait. The only thing I wish is that I could be a fly on the wall and I could just lay underneath them and drink the tears that fall out of their eyes to directly give me sustenance and heal me from this awful disease that I've been fighting. But I don't care about the disease. I don't care about it. The one thing I care about is whooping that Alabama ass tomorrow. And I think the boys are ready. And I'm done with analysis. We've talked about the game every which way, but something like we've looked at it from every single angle under every rock. I get it. The defense sucks. Well, guess what? Step the hell up. Somebody make a play. Ashton Stamps, you getting hyped up all the time during this camp? Go make a play. Javid Toviano, we don't really know who you are. Go make a play. Go shut down Jermaine Burton. Go get after Jalen Milroe. Front seven, Jordan Jefferson. Go be the second Jordan Jefferson to become a hero in T-Town in the last decade. Let's go, dude. I'm sick of Alabama. I'm sick of all this crap. I'm ready for this game, dude. I'm ready to get to it. I'm ready to win. Like the Pelicans continue to win. Shout out. We'll get to them a bit later in this hour. The Saints looking like, okay, they maybe figured something out last week. Can they get it fixed? We'll see. But the bottom line is it's going to be a damn good weekend of sports.
I do love what you said about the young players playing DB. Your scholarship players.
Yeah.
You got signed to play at LSU, right? These aren't players that are coming from somewhere else. You signed these players to come play at LSU. Do you have a lot of experience? No, you don't. But, again, you signed to play for LSU. You have the talent. Otherwise, you would have not been signed to a place like LSU. So, yes, you are young. Yes, you are inexperienced. But you know what? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Like, nobody's going to, like, oh, yeah, well, you know what? He's unexperienced. Like, he's very inexperienced, doesn't have the plays out there. Like, they don't care. Like, you have to go out there. You've had multiple weeks now to get ready.
Yep.
So you shouldn't have to have a game plan that is safe, because safe gets you beat in this matchup.
Oh, ain't no half-stepping here.
No
fear.
Safe will get you beat here in this game. So the call is the call. Play the call. Play to your technique. Play to the reason why you were signed to a place like LSU. Again, because nobody will care. They don't care about excuses. We've all been there. We all know what that situation is, playing as a young guy. But, again, nobody cares, because once the ball's kicked, they don't say Ashton Stamp freshman on the play. They say your name on the play.
And what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Like, really, as a team, what do you have to lose? You've already lost twice. Like, you've already suffered. You already felt the pain of losing in Oxford in the manner that you did in which you blew a 9-point lead. You felt the pain of being on a massive stage against Florida State to open the season with 10 million plus watching, and but you've already suffered. It's the old Game of Thrones idea, right? What is dead may never die. They're the ones that have the pressure. They're the ones that are seeking to maintain their empire, right? They're the ones that are seeking to maintain this standard that Nick Saban has set, in which they've never gone 3 years without winning a national championship. And guess what? This is the part that I love the most about it, Jake. Their hopes are still alive. Their hopes are still alive. Yes, it's a flawed team, but it's a team that has continued to win. And despite all of their flaws, Alabama sits in the driver's seat in the West. They control their own destiny. They control their path to Atlanta, and thus they control their path to that national championship that they're desperately trying to grab this year, to make sure that their streak isn't broken and that there's not even more sign that their empire is crumbling. But that's the best part. They still have hope. And you, in your hands, you alone have the ability to extinguish that hope. You have been offered a point of leverage, a crowbar to open up their chest and cause them pain. And that's something beautiful. And that's something wonderful. When it's your enemies, when you want to see these people suffer, you have been given the platform to do so. So go do it. And then you reap the rewards. And then you know what? F it all. Burn it all down. Beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Don't let any SEC team make this Final Four playoff just be chaos. Ruin everybody's good time, right? There may be no championship redemption for this team, but that's fine. Let go of playing the role of angel and start to play the role of devil. Drag everyone to hell down with you. That should be the goal for this LSU team right now.
And also to go into this matchup and be the alpha. Like with that kind of
Yep.
energy, like going into this game, because so many times, and T, you would know this better than me because you got into this game, sooner than I did as far as sports media, and you came in when the streak was going on, and so many times like, oh man, I hope we can stay competitive against Alabama. Like, no, that's not the energy that you
Not
need.
anymore. And that's how it used to be. Fair.
Yes,
And it was fair.
without
and it was
question.
realistic. They had 9 deep, first-round defensive linemen with Jonathan Allen and all them. They were much better than you. You had Les Miles. They had Nick Saban. None of that is the case anymore. Again, crumbling empire, y'all. This ain't your daddy's Alabama.
So I want to see LSU with that mentality. Go in there and say, I'm going to impose my will on you. There's nothing that you can do about it, because I feel like that's important in this matchup. Because as far as the mentals of this game, for so long, it felt like they had the advantage. You should have the advantage for a lot of the things that you laid out, T, for beating them a year ago, for feeling like you have a coaching staff that a bye week actually helps you in certain situations, and it's no longer going to be their advantage every single time. All right?
Yep.
Knowing that you have the best quarterback in the country. You have the receiver that has the most receiving yards in the country.
Tell 'em.
A different receiver has the most receiving touchdowns in the country, not even the same guy. You've got a top 5 running back in the SEC in Logan Diggs, who would probably be closer to 2 if he didn't miss the first game of the season.
True.
You have the best offensive line in the SEC, maybe the best in the country.
Tell 'em.
Okay, you have advantages in this game. Go in there with your chest out knowing that you have those advantages. You have the number 1 offense in the country. There's not an offense. Look at the analytics. Look at the stats. There's not an offense in this country that is better than you are. And you've done it against one of the best schedules in the country. You haven't done it against Michigan's schedule. You haven't done it against Georgia's schedule. You've done it against one of the best schedules in the country. You are who you are, which is damn good. Have that mentality going into this game. Is your defense playing with young players? Yes, but as an offense, have this mentality that it doesn't matter what they do, because every time we get it, we're going to score. Have that mentality. Don't be like, oh, we got to score every time. Don't think of it that way.
No.
Think of, we're going to go score every single time. Just know that you can be the alpha in this matchup. Know that you can do things that they can't stop. That's what I want to see. That's what I expect to see from Jaden Daniels in this offense.
Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Fear is bred of a lack of preparation. Fear is bred of the unknown. If you've read today's piece on Jaden Daniels in The Advocate, you will know that nothing could be further from the truth in terms of what this man does to get ready. There will be no fear in JD5's eyes, the same way there was no fear as he stared down that Alabama team last year at Tiger Stadium and found a way to win that game in the biggest moments, whether it's running in the end zone, side-eyeing the defender, cool as can be as he enters, or the 2-point conversion executed to perfection to find a way to get that win. And and look, man, like you said, the offense, we know they some stone cold killers. Okay, so be that killer, like Jake's talking about. Embody that confidence. And the defense, look, everybody thinks you suck. So what do you have to lose? Yeah, you can't. You can only suck worse, and you still suck either way. Okay, so go out there, make a big play. Somebody needs to find a way to do something like Harold Perkins did against Mizzou, which is probably that second half against Mizzou, the best that this defense has been against a good offense. And it was basically, it was just finding a way to make a big turnover play and set the tone. And so somebody's going to do it tomorrow night. Who will be? I don't know, but somebody is going to do it. And that person, they're going to become a legend, because that's what these games do. You go make plays in this game. You think about Eric Reed in the game of the century coming down with that pick. You think about Chad Jones coming up with a forced fumble on JP. I mean, you think about the 4th and 1 fake to D-Lo back in 2010 that got you down to the goal line. You end up scoring and winning that game. Ruben Randall has the big touchdown. Drake Nevis is the big force fumble. Like, you make plays in this game, you live forever. Clyde, throw your heart across the line and the body will follow, right? Last year, Mason Taylor, the 2-point conversion to win the game in Tiger Stadium. This is where immortality, this is why you come to college. This is why you come to LSU or Alabama. You don't come here because you want to play Army. You come here because you want to be at college game day with 10 to 15 milli watching your every single move and 100,000 people in the stands that either want to see you die or want to see you succeed. And either way, good. I welcome it. It gives me juice. And so if you're really about it, why did you come here in the first place? You came here for these moments, okay? And you've done all the requisite work to set it up to make sure that this moment matters. Now it's time to go beat that ass. Get in the fight, enjoy the fight, lean into the fight, and be ready for blood. Not motivated by fear, motivated by greed, by lust, motivated by the want of glory because you want to be immortal, not because you're afraid of failing.
Go look up. So if you, like T-Bob said, he laid out a lot of great moments in this game. Like, if you want to feel the energy that you need to have, go watch LaRon Landry hit Brody Croy on 2005. That's all you got to do. Go have that energy. Go have that thought process about this game. Hell, I'm talking about fans. I'm talking about anybody watching this game. I'm talking about players on the field, coaches. Go have that type of energy. You know why? Because that man was coming with bad intentions every single play. And they knew it, and they feared him. Make them fear you. You've got Jimmy's and Joe's on defense, right? Have you been good? No. You got the guys. You got Harold Perkins and other players that can go out there and make that play. But so much about this game to me, and so many that T was in, so many that I was in, it was about how do you enter this game? What is your thought process as you go into this game, right? Do you want to win or do you need to win? It's a big difference. Wanting to and needing to is a big difference. Go in there needing to win because it's all you think about. It's all you need. It's all you crave.
God, dude, be violent. In what other facet of life do you get to be violent? Are you encouraged to be violent? In what other area of life do you get to lean into your most primal urges? Because whether or not you want to admit it, every one of us has a little barbarian left in our DNA, right? Every one of us fantasizes about taking those who would stand against this and making them submit to our will through physical force, taste blood, hit them and make them beg you to stop hitting them and then hit them again. Don't help them up. Step on him. Step over him. Sit on him. Smash him. Be violent. You should enter this game with a literal bloodlust. Your hair should feel like it's on fire because all you want to do is cause another man pain. And this is the one avenue in life in which you can do so, and you're not going to get in trouble, and society's not going to frown upon you, and you're not going to get arrested. Hell no, you're going to get cheered. You're going to get glory. You're going to get praised. Be violent. I would go to bed with blood-tinged visions dancing through my head if I was this team tonight, because tomorrow you get to go out there and you're allowed to fight. And you're allowed to be as crazy and as balls to the wall and as angry and as maniacal and as dastardly and evil as you want. And it's something you never get again. Nope. I mean, once you hang him up, you're not allowed to. You have to be just a good little boy, and you have to walk through society every day and eat the crap of the people that serve it up to you because you have to, because they're your boss or they're above you or they're this or they're that, or you're not allowed to just punch this guy in the face that's pissing you off because he's annoying you. Now you can. Now you can. Don't let that golden opportunity slip by. Take advantage and inflict pain. God. Because it's fleeting. It's fleeting. And these moments are fleeting. So take advantage while you can. All right. When we get back, I don't exactly know what today's going to be. You know, I can't promise anything. We'll get to your comments. I do want to talk about the Jaden Daniels piece in The Advocate because it really does speak to, again, something that probably my favorite theme of the season is that nothing that you're seeing out of Jaden Daniels has happened by accident. It has happened because of hard work, old school hard work. And the piece today really epitomizes that. And then I have put together a little mood piece for the end of the hour. And I do want to talk Pels as well. 4-1, boys. Pels rolling right along. It doesn't matter who plays. CJ plays, gets it done. Matt Ryan, all that. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Noel.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Noel Family Distillery. Buy from the boot. Okay, that's right, baby. LSU Pride, Louisiana Pride. Get the official tequila of LSU Athletics. We're talking about the Noel Blanco. The Reposado is delicious as well. That's where they finished the tequila aged in rum barrels. Just got a little sweet note to it. But the bottom line is, if you want exquisite tasting spirits that are made right here in the state, whether it's, well, obviously the tequila was made in Mexico, but Natalie Noel spent months in Mexico studying agave plants and creating a unique mixture of highland and lowland plants, as well as some notes that she thinks represents Louisiana. But they have the Louisiana sugarcane rum, they have the vodka, pickle vodka. It's all there for you. Noel Family Distillery. Go ask for Noel today. Noel.
Ask for it, then pick it up, and then enjoy it during the LSU-Alabama game, right? Enjoy it while you're watching your Tigers take care of business, because they are the official tequila of LSU Athletics. You can find it all online, noeldistillery.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Board's marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept.
Moscona inviting to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Final preps and picks for LSU-Alabama. Phil Steele and the Riot Radio Hours. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The real Miami, the MIA. This is where we hustle.
Every day I'm hustling. 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 Every day I'm hustling.
Who you suckers think you're tripping with? Yes, I'm the boss. 745, white on white, that's Rick Ross. I keep them wide, I keep them long, I keep them
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Again, if you're going to read one thing today, go read Wilson Alexander's piece in The Advocate about Jaden Daniels and how he improved so much this offseason, because it tells you everything that you need to know about JD5 and why he's made himself into the best quarterback in the entire country. And it's awesome because it starts with a lot of it starts with he finishes last year, and the number's all right, like 17-3, whatever it was. Basically like 4,000 total yards, and talking about how Jaden was like, okay, like, do I want to go to the NFL? Do I want to come back? And basically said, I mean, like, if I don't, and basically arriving at the conclusion, I don't want to come back and be the same guy that I just was. And this is where you credit the LSU coaching staff for doing a great job of re-recruiting. Apparently, Joe Sloan and Brian Kelly put together a to-the-day 6-month plan for Jaden Daniels that involved a ton of different stuff, right? It involved individual film study, looking back at sacks taken last year, deep throws missed, what went wrong. It involved new throwing drills, Jake, in which they required him to throw as hard as he could on every single throw, getting used to like his kind of body mechanics and what it feels like to go full effort on every throw. It included throwing weighted balls. It included, when you're doing these practice throws, you shrinking the targets to logos, to shoulders, whatever, tighter, really focusing on practicing on those tighter windows. It included a lot of virtual reality work in the VR room. The bottom line is that it was a 6-month plan that just included a ton of daily work, and Jaden Daniels did that. And so that's why on every other weekday throughout the entirety of the offseason and this season, he wakes up at 5 a.m. and he goes in that film room alone. And that's why last week you would have found him watching all the third down clips from Alabama, Tennessee for an hour last Wednesday alone, as he seeks to gain an advantage. And that's one of the reasons why LSU's been so incredible on third down this year. So nothing, and that 5:30 a.m. thing has been something, again, that he's carried throughout the offseason and through this season. But nothing that Jaden Daniels has accomplished has happened by accident. It has happened because he's worked his ass off. And it's the area that probably, if you just want to put numbers on it, and this is what I love, man. I love when we have a clear goal, or, okay, what do we all say? What does Jaden Daniels need to improve on? Be more explosive, throwing the ball downfield. Okay, that was the number one goal of the offseason.
Yep.
Well, last season, he averaged a career low 7.5 yards per attempt. And when they did go deep, he completed just 38% of his attempts that went over 20 yards in the air. Okay, those for 38%, 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. This year, already, remember, that was an entire season last year. This year, he's completed 67%, which is absurd for balls going that deep. 67% for 938 yards and 15 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And he's averaging 11.5 yards per attempt, making him the literal best deep ball thrower in the entire country, statistically even better than Michael Penix Jr. So, like, here you have a guy, Jake, who was bad at this last year, and through sheer hard work, determination, and dedication, took what he was bad at and became the best in the country at it. That deserves praise.
Absolutely, it does. The things that you called for last year, well, he not only does those things now, he does them better than anybody in the country. Just imagine that. Imagine being at a place like LSU, you play in the SEC, you're struggling with something in 1 year, right? And you put in the work to not only get better at it, but to be elite at it. You know how hard that is to do? Something that you're not great at, to be able to go out there and master it in the offseason because of the work that you've done. And that's exactly what he's done. This is a quarterback right now that's graded out at 93% for the year. 93% for the year. Not his best game, Not against directional school U, he had a 93 grade, 93% in the totality of the year, and it shows. When he goes out there, there's a rhyme, there's a reason for everything that he does, right? Watch the body language in the play. I'm not talking about after the play. He's always actually had pretty calm body language after the play. That's one of his best leadership qualities, right? Not too high, not too low. He kind of stays even keel. But within the play, watch him go through the play. Watch his mechanics going through the play. Like everything has raised its level of play. And that's because of the work that he's put in. And also, I'm not saying that he wasn't tough a year ago, but his toughness has been on full display this year.
Yes, give that man credit for that. That's true.
Going and watching the Missouri game, and so I do radio with Chris Budden on Thursdays. She was the sideline reporter for that game against Mizzou. So she saw some of those hits up close and personal. She asked me yesterday, how did he continue to play? I said, because that's just the way he is. She goes, I looked up, and he's got blood coming down from his elbow, and it was so much blood that it was dripping off his fingers.
Tight. Hell
She
yeah,
said he
dude.
had blood.
Hell yeah,
I don't know how it happened. He had blood coming down his jaw at one point.
Yes.
We know that he had a rib injury in that game because he got hit after he was already in the end zone. No call, didn't care. Like, he just doesn't care. Like, in a good way. Like, in the best way possible. Like, just going to continue to just keep on coming and to keep on doing the things that you have to do. So, like, do not take this for granted. Do not take what you're seeing for granted. It is incredibly hard. Like, if I was struggling my junior year in pass protection, could I get better in pass protection? Yes. You know how hard it is to go from something that you don't do well to being elite at, right? That just doesn't happen. We don't see, like, I don't have another comp for you. Like, I don't have another comp where it was something that you probably did the worst, and now it's the best in the country.
I mean, the only other comp is, and this is another guy who just did it by working his ass off, is Joe Burrow's leap.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only other comp. Even though maybe the difference there is, well, no. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Like, that's the only other comp I can give you. And that's another thing, man, about this LSU team is, as a fan, don't take it for granted what you're witnessing, because it's pretty insane that not 4 years removed from the best offense we've ever seen, you have an offense that is actually legitimately comparable. And it's with an entire new cast of characters, both player, coaches, everything. We live in blessed offensive times. JD5, job's not done. Yeah, it's not. And again, and that's the other thing, right? Like, Jaden Daniels is going to be bringing the confidence that comes with correct preparation tomorrow. I fully expect this offense, like Jake said, to not be like, oh, no, we have to score, but be like, no, we're going to score when we get the ball, because that's who they've been all year long. That's who they're going to continue to be. And is it tough? Sure, whatever. It is. But you know what? Hey, why else did you come here but to do tough things? Yeah, that's how you got to where you are, by doing tough things.
Hey, look, and I would say that is the same mentality that they had in 2019. Think about, go back to the Texas game, right? The defense was struggling. Texas was scoring when they had the ball.
Yeah.
But the offense continued to be like, we got you. We're good. Because no matter how many times they score, we're going to keep doing it. Go back to the Alabama game that year. God, man, they keep having success scoring. Joe Burrow, Clyde, those receivers, they don't care. We're going to score every single time. Now that we got a lead, we are going to go out there and score. Like, did you ever think that offense was going to get stopped?
No.
Neither did they. I was on the sideline for that game. I promise you. Like, the confidence that they had, hearing some of the things that Joe and Clyde were telling their team, talking to the offensive line, like they would, they'd score a long touchdown. Tua would hit a receiver down the field. Keep going back to each other. Hey, we're good. We're good. Hey, we get the ball too. They got to stop us, and they're not going to. Like, that was that energy on that sideline. That's the energy you have to have. T's exactly right. Do not just be like, oh my gosh, we got to score every single time we get the ball. That's not the attitude to have.
No, we're going to. We get to, we get to go dominate our opponent more. And it's such a good feeling when you feel that will break beneath you. So we gon' see, man. Coming up next, though, let's take a little detour down to the Smoothie King Center, as don't look now, boys, but your pals, 4-1 through the first 5. Could not be better. We'll talk about it next. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2Z window coverings that, wow. You can go to ktozblinds.com and look, whether it's interior, exterior, maybe an outdoor living space, maybe a man cave, a bedroom, a kid's room, whatever. You want to bring that to the next level, you want K to Z. Brandon Barton's been at it for 25 years, y'all. And you're going to immediately feel that experience when you have him out to your home and he starts looking at your setup and you see the full depth that goes into these decisions in terms of times of day, angles, how to light it, like all of that sort of stuff. So aesthetically, you're going to get what you want to take your Windows coverage to the next level, but also functionally, right? Whether it's keeping heat out, bugs out, whatever, you want K to Z.
I didn't know there was multiple options. Maybe you did, but I know I didn't. So they came out to the house, and I just assumed we were going to get the same screen in our outdoor space. It was going to look the same. It was going to be one color. Multiple colors, multiple options. Call them today or go online, k2zblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045espn.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Board's marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
10 in the prep football season, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview presented by Brock. And we recap the night starting at 10 with Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care. On YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Louisiana. Murder on the beat. Something for y'all to cut up to, you know? Yeah. Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on. Haven't let the thing loose, girl, it's so long.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Call of awareness says, weren't folks hyped up last year for the Pels when they had the whole conference, when they led the whole conference early in the season? the beta energy coming out of that comment, take a freaking lap. Oh my God. That's the exact thing I'm talking about avoiding today. Yep. That right there, that is fear. That is fear of failure. What does every great athlete, every successful person do? They live in the present. They're not results oriented. They're not afraid of failing. All they're worried about is doing whatever it takes in that moment to win that individual battle. And right now, that's what the Pelicans are doing. You know, no BI, no Zion. It's a back-to-back. I'm not as disappointed in Zion because this was planned, right? Like,
yes.
This was all a plan for the back-to-back thing. Like, I get it. It is what it is. The BI stuff, you know, it remains frustrating. It as you think about guys that you can rely on, guys that as a fan you want to support, you want to cheer for, you want to pay. BI immediately missing games for knee soreness doesn't feel great. And once again, it would appear that CJ McCollum is talking to his team through the media. This comes from a Christian Clark tweet. Christian pointing out that CJ McCollum's missed 7 games since he was traded to New Orleans. Just 7 games. Boys, the old man. Remember Gandalf the White? The man who's supposed to be hobbled and kind of ushering these young guns along. Here's a full quote that I want to read. This is from CJ after the game, who, by the way, balled out and gets you a win. And we do have superstars Matt Ryan as well. We can get that. But this quote's the story. Quote, I have a small window of time. And by the way, you could actually carry this forward into this Alabama game or into anything that you do in life. Quote, I have a small window of time to play this game that I love, this game that I've played since I was a kid. A lot of us played for free and played for free. I have a small window to maximize the talents God has given me, and I try to maximize them every day. I try to be the best version of myself every day and get the most out of my talent. While I can play, I want to play. This is fun for me. It's an escape from everything else that you have to do in life. I practice, I work on my game. I sacrifice so much to play in games. So why would I not want to play in the game? That's my mentality. That's my approach. And I get paid handsomely to show up and perform and be ready. And I try to pride myself on doing just that. One day, I won't be able to. That's when I'll stop and go do something else. Choo!
I'm glad that he realizes that in the moment.
Damn.
Because so many people, a couple things in professional sports. One, they think those paychecks are always going to come. And let me tell you, they're not.
Yeah.
But you just assume that they are. The second part of it is you think that you can always do it, and one day you can't.
Yep.
And sometimes you can't realize that. And when you can't, trust me when I say that you're going to miss being competitive against somebody else like that, and you're not going to have that ability. Yeah, sure, we can create competition here, and we can try to be the best possible radio show that we can be, you know, coming for that number 9 spot next year.
That's right, baby.
You know, top 10, no, not bragging. But it's different. It is. It is. Like, we can be competitive in doing that. And T, I can say, hey, we're going to go in the hallway and we're going to race, right? And we can get some competitive juices flowing from that. It ain't the same.
Can't hit anybody.
It is not the same. Like, you can't go out there and do the things that you've always done anymore. They will take that away from you one day. And so why not go out there and play in every single game that you can? Look, is it a toughness thing? Somewhat, but it's also just go out there because you have the ability to do so. You've been given this God-given gift. You only have so many opportunities to do it. Why in the hell not would I not go out there to strive? I'm not saving myself for down the road. You know why? Down the road doesn't always happen.
There's been a series going on at my church that I really love where kind of the core ethos, right? The core message of it is go maximize the talents that God has given you. And through doing so, like, show gratitude, right? Through doing so, you show gratitude for those gifts that you have been given, for the blessings that have you been given. And then you kind of bless the rest of the world, right? Through love and showcase. And that's exactly like CJ McCollum is not taking anything for granted. He is expressing love through gratitude, through playing this game that he gets paid to play and that he's so good at and that he still has the talent to play at such a high level. I mean, look at last night. And I think there's something almost divine and wonderful in that. It's something that should be celebrated, and that's why we celebrate CJ McCollum. And he was awesome last night. Matt Ryan was awesome last night. You got some positive Kyra Lewis Jr. play, which continues to feel good. I don't know if this is accurate or a mirage, but it seems like this Pelicans team finally has enough shooting. Am I wrong?
Oh, it appears that way right now. I mean, they're not even at full strength. So, yeah, it looks really good that you have guys that are there specifically to shoot. I mean,
it's like, and I got so sick of through these years, through this recent evolution of the NBA, where I felt like every team had like a handful of guys who just post up and shoot around the perimeter, and you just didn't have them. You just didn't have, and now it feels like you finally have caught up to the rest of the NBA in that regard.
Yeah, just having Hawkins and Ryan out there, even when they're not making shots, which Ryan was last night, Hawkins not so much, but just the way they spread the floor and open things up for other guys like Jaden Daniels, Herb Jones, players that were not as good offensively last year, now have a lot more room to operate. So, yeah, it's been a big help, big reason why they're 4-1 right now.
Yeah, I mean, you had full-on Jonas clearouts multiple times last night,
Beautiful.
Which would never happen if Matt Ryan wasn't straight up sniping from the outside, stretching the floor or spacing the floor. So,
I like Dyson Daniels, man.
I do too. I do too.
And even go back to last year when he was a rookie, and he was with the ones. He was rolling with the starting lineup. It's like then he just kind of went away for whatever reason. But I mean, last night in 25 minutes, he shoots well. He has 7 boards, 6 assists. Right, scores 10 points. If you get that from Dyson Daniels night in and night out, your team and where you're going changes completely for me. Because look, he's a first-round pick. Yes. Like, you expect that from first-round picks. And T-Bob mentioned Kyra Lewis. That's a lottery pick. Like, you expect them to go out there and play and help your team win. All those draft picks that you got because you had really good players, well, they got to turn into something.
Yeah.
Jackson Hayes didn't work out. He's already gone. Like, you need some of these guys to not only, step up, but to play well. And it's good to see Dyson Daniels, who I thought played well last year, get 25 minutes in the game.
Yeah, and it looks
like I don't think that needs to go away.
And it looks like, Herb's turned into something, Trey's turned into something, maybe Kyra's turned into something, then Daniels. Okay, at that point, you're like, okay.
Then you feel much better about shipping AD and Drew Holiday and all these players out.
And to David Griffin's credit, that's how you build a team. You don't, not develop players, try to make these trades that blow up in your face. You're actually developing a team, depth, and guys that you built in your own program. So that's really good going forward.
All right, when we get back, let's close out the hour. I got something to fire y'all up a little bit. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. I'll say it one more time, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Got the Sienna in and out for a little servicing yesterday. Once again, just easy as can be. Text updates throughout the warranty coverage, which, again, you can get Toyota certified warranty on your Toyota certified used vehicle as well, Jake. But the warranty coverage, I didn't even have to open my wallet, It was all already taken care of because of the level of coverage that I chose. That's just a small detail. One of the small advantages that you get when you purchase from All-Star Toyota. They're the best. Can't wait to get that second minivan. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go check out the website today. Maybe you're going to Tuscaloosa. Maybe it's last minute. Don't worry. You can call them right now, and you could get a vehicle to drive over there. Now, if you want to plan ahead, maybe you're more of a planner for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. You got a big trip coming up, and you need a rental because what you have just doesn't fit the trip. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. Reserve it today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps, your roots are
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Rhule for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to
104.5 this Sunday to catch 3 different NFL games. We start with the noon kickoff, the Seahawks at Ravens. Immediately following that, it's the Cowboys and Eagles. And then our night game, the Bills at Bengals. Catch all of those games here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Closing out hour number 1 of OTB. Hour 2, we're going to kick it off with Big Fave like we always do. We'll talk to an Alabama guy, Ryan Fowler, at 8:30. Riv's coming in hour 3. I still got to play you this Matt Rhule speech. And we got the Pontoon parlay that we have to put together as well. So look forward to that. And, I'm getting fired up for tomorrow. And I wanted to put together what I would call a little mood piece to set the tone for the morrow. So here it is.
In your hair. Wrong! Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, to hear the lamentation of their women.
They just got him off. They had 12 on the field. Here we go. Snap to Daniels. Sprint out. Throw to the right. Caught. Right corner of the end zone. Mason Taylor. Tigers win. Tigers win. Hey now. 32-31. And the fans storm the field. Wow. Brian Kelly says, we're going to win this one. And he does. 32-31.
Yeah! Let's go, boys! Daddy's thirsty! And I need some Bama tears! What did Conan say, Jake? To crush your enemies! See them driven before you! And hear the lamentation of their women! It's the Blood Age boys, and the Tigers are on the prowl! 2 in a row! 3 and 5! Hey, Bama, get ready to suck that Tiger! Yeah! Let's go, baby!
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rejuve Me Medical! That's right! Feeling juiced! Feeling young! Feeling hungry for a victory! RejuveMeMedical.com. You want to feel better? Younger, bigger, stronger, faster? 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't care! Go to Rejuve Me, male, female, they got you, man. You get your labs drawn. They're going to customize a plan for you to get you where you want to be. Because they understand the aging process, and they understand how to fight the aging process. So feel younger, feel better, feel stronger with Rejuve Me Medical.
Go to the website, RejuveMeMedical.com today. Get that consultation set up. If you want that kind of energy, go to Rejuve Me Medical. They're going to help you get on that path to be able to feel like you could do something like that. So go to the website, top right corner of the website. Get that consultation set up. Text them today, 225-442-0646.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Board's marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is a.m. on Friday, November 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 77. Coming up on OTB, Big Fave, Marlon Favorite joins the show up next, and we talk to Ryan Fowler of Alabama Radio at 8:30. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
For the radio. Hello, somebody. Yeah, I'ma move my
body.
Oh, look at this, dude. I'm looking at a so Miro from Deez and Miro posted an Instagram Halloween party post, and my God, it looks like everybody that's cool is there. Meal sent it to me, but John Baptiste is rocking an LSU jersey in it. Look at our boy. Looks to be playing some sort of drinking card game. Rocking the LSU. That's my boy, dude. That's my favorite artist of all time, I've decided. My second favorite artist of all time is what you're listening to right now. My guy, Big Fave. Hello, somebody. What's happening, Fave?
Hello, somebody. It's time for us to move that body. Let's go, Tigers.
That's right, baby. Hey, it's that time, Fave. Alabama, college game day, nighttime in T-Town. This is when it all goes down, Fave. Put me in the defensive mindset here, right? This is a defense that has struggled a bit this year, but, it doesn't really matter what you've done up to this point. If you were on the defensive side of the ball, if you were in that locker room, Fave, what would be your message to this team?
Well, y'all know old school Fave will start that thing off with one of them fiery prayers, and then after that, we're going to get hyped. The message is this. Think back. This is what I used to do. Think back to like June 12th. It's 112 degrees in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
We running them 110s, and Lord knows we don't feel like doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that moment, how hot it was, and it all leads up to this moment. All the summer heat, all the hard work, all the naysayers, LSU D-line trash. Man, they defense, they using Harold Perkins wrong. You got a moment right now to silence all the haters. You go out there to Tuscaloosa and you put a beating up on Alabama in their home for Brian Kelly 2 years in a row. Oh, yeah, that's hype. And then my man J5 got to shoot to the top of the Heisman because, listen, all these other teams are good teams. I think Michigan is a good team. I don't think J.J. McCarthy is better than Jalen. Caleb Williams was, I thought, the one that was going to be. He didn't lost 2 games.
Yep.
You understand? Michael Penix. Now, look, I ain't going to lie. That back shoulder pass he threw last week was dope. He's a good quarterback. But my man killing it with the wheels. So that would be my motivation, especially if we got a teammate that can go get a Heisman. We have 2 Heismans in the last 5 years. And then at the same token, a big win. I mean, you control your destiny from that point. You beat Alabama. You shoot up to the top 10. We're top 15 from there. So I'm excited, T-Bob.
Big Fave, what would you say to your defense, though? Like, not to get them ready for the game, not to get them fired up, but knowing that you've got the number one offense on the country on your team, and some of your defensive issues have been the reason why you're not currently undefeated, or at least why you don't only have one loss. Like, would you make mention of it? Would you bring it up to the other guys? Would you ask them to step up? Like, what would your message be to the other guys on defense, knowing that your offense has played so well and you've played better, but you got to be even better in this game?
I say, listen, guys, it's clear we have the best offense in the country. We're going to score. Let it not be us. And I will point at every individual guy on that defense, include, I might start, I'm so crazy, I might start the speech off looking in the mirror. I might self-talk first. And then I'm looking at every, you don't be that guy. Hester, don't be that guy, baby. T-Bob, don't be that guy. Don't be the guy, it's cover 1 or 3. And you blow your coverage and they score a big touchdown. Because that's all they're going to do with the deep ball. They only got 5 rushing touchdowns. Our running back is more productive than Logan did. So don't let a missed tackle be the difference. You don't be the one to miss tackle. Because let me tell you something. There's no I in team, but every individual person can look in the mirror and say, there's a me in team, and I won't be the one to do it. So, and if everybody takes that mentality, that attitude into this game, I think we can be victorious. Think about it, y'all. They're not going to outscore us. They couldn't outscore Tennessee in the first half. So, I just think that, listen, there's a lot of hype behind this Alabama team. It will be because they have been the comeback kings. But I'm legit. I'm looking at every guy in the eye and say, you don't be that guy. Because if all of us got that mentality, we'll have less errors, less MAs.
Yeah, I think I think Fave, it kind of feels like a game where if they score in the 20s, Alabama probably wins 30s, kind of a coin flip. It gets up to the 40s, I agree with you. Like that feels like an LSU win. We'll see what happens in that regard. Mekhi Wingo going to be out for likely the rest of the year. They're saying 6 weeks, had to have surgery on his groin. Kind of makes sense now why you maybe haven't felt Mekhi in the way you did in the past. But Jordan Jefferson's been good. You got Tank Guillory back there, Fave. How do you think they're going to look to replace Mekhi Wingo's production on that defensive line?
I got faith in Jordan Jefferson and Tank Guillory. I think those two guys have enough playing experience now. And I know I mentioned this to y'all before, like when Big Charles went down. They announced me the starter, but me and Charles were getting the same amount of reps anyway. But it was a mental switch because now it's like, I don't know if T-Bob, no, I don't think you got. No, you didn't get there yet. No, you was there. This was your freshman year. Y'all, Hester know this. Y'all remember how we had the number 91 on our wristbands?
Yeah.
We wrote that to say, hey, let's play for our injured brother who can't play. And that got us hyped too. So I would encourage, especially if the coaches listening, I don't know if the D linemen listening, I would encourage them to do that. I would put number 18 on my wrist for Mekhi Wingo. And I would legit go play for my brother. And that's how you do that, because you not only send a message to your teammate who can't play right now, but you also send a message to the other team. Look, stop playing with us. You heard me? We're coming for that action.
Hey, and also, Fave, like Mason Smith needs to play his best game to date. Like Mason Smith is a 5-star guy. He's a guy that's going to play on Sundays. We know all that about him. He's coming back from the injury. When an All-American and Mekhi Wingo goes down, you have to raise your level of play as well. Like that has to be a conversation he's also having with himself, because Jordan Jefferson, he's going to come in, he's going to take Mekhi Wingo's spot, Tank Guillory, Jalen Lee might come. We know all that. But also, individually, Mason has to raise his level of play.
Man, Hess, you know what it is. He got a lot of hype behind him, a lot of hype. Now it's time to live up to the hype. In that little speech I'm giving in the locker room, I'm probably going to stare him in the eyes more than anybody else, because his potential bar is so high. Like, you're giving the crown. Now you just got to go prove it. You show and prove. So, yeah, he would definitely, man, no doubt, he's someone, and he has the ability to do it. He has, out of all the guys, I think he has the most potential, like you said, because of his size, because of the hype behind him. So, man, he's a guy that this has to be his breakout game.
Well, and I mean, this is the stage, right? Like, this is the stage where we talked about it, Fave, but you make plays on this stage, that's how you go down to be immortal, how you go down to be remembered forever. And look, man, I mean, there's going to be a lot of NFL scouts there. There's a lot of NFL talent on that field, and this is an Alabama offensive line that will allow you to make plays. They give up a lot of sacks. They give up a lot of TFLs. Now, Jalen Milroe's the perfect quarterback for kind of combating a lot of that. But yeah, there will be plays to be had. What do you think, Fave? How do you see this thing playing out tomorrow? What's going to be your kind of key deciding factor to the game?
I think the key deciding factor for the game, of course, we got to start with the defense, is playing superb ball in the front seven. It's utilizing Harold Perkins in the way we need to use him. A, B, playing mistake-free ball up front. That's missing tackles. That's blown assignments. All of that stuff, darn near got to be picture perfect. That's the key to victory. And don't give up the big play. And listen, I'm putting a little more emphasis on pushing the D-line to get to the quarterback, because we do have a lot of injuries in the guys that's out on in the secondary, an area that was already struggling. So now we got young action stamps and all these guys that got to play. Let's help our guys out. Even in the play call, I don't think we need to call nothing extravagant on the back end. Make it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. And cover one, cover two, quarters. Just make it simple assignments. Don't do too many mixed zones and banjos and all of that. The D-line got to get there.
Well, good thing, Fave, sorry, T, to cut you off there, but he mentioned a couple of coverages. The good thing for you, wanting that, in the last 3 games, LSU's played quarters 46.6% of the time. They've played cover 3 33.2% of the time. So if that's what you want, that's what you're getting.
Look, I don't want too much cover one, though. No cover zero. Nothing too. Hey, lock this dude up. That could go 7, 14, 21. We don't want the points to start stacking. Don't give up the deep ball. Keep it simple. Keep the receivers in front of you. Have a little over-the-top help. And man, most importantly, that D-line got to get sacks, quarterback pressures, tackles for loss. All of that negativity, those negative yards, is going to work in our favor, because now it's 4 down, they got a punt. And now you're going to get a ball back to 5, and 5 got a point to prove. 5 like, I'm top dog. I don't know what they're talking about these other dudes. Yeah, I lost 2 games, but I'm top dog. So I think that's the key to victory. And it's beef, y'all. It is beef. Straight up. This game here has so much disrespect in it. And this might be the last time we match up for a long time. So go take all them 8 years of them beating our tail before 19. Think about all that. It's the same coaches, So I'm excited. Me and Hester is a guy. We're guys that Nick Saban brought to LSU.
Yeah.
So that is. This is something that we know the whole story, right? We know Saban. Look, hey, I ain't going nowhere. Come to the locker room, we losing to Iowa. Hey guys, get the hell out of here. Hey, we don't forget. So
that's right, baby. Never forget. Never forget. Time to continue. I mean, deal the death blow to the Empire. When's the last time Alabama did in the West 2 years in a row? Like, I had gone 2 years without winning the West, bro. That's got to be pre-Saban.
That's got to be longer than a decade.
Yeah, no, it's for sure pre-Saban, because
deal the death blow.
Yeah, he didn't win it his first year, but then he won it 3 years in a row.
He definitely won it.
Then LSU, but then he went on a little run.
All right, Big Fave, what do you got going on? We had Smalls today for Inside the Trenches. What we got?
We're Inside the Trenches. We're at Smalls. We starting off talking Alabama. So for our New Orleans folks listening, if you're down in the city, come on to the West Bank, Best Bank, baby. We're going to be at Small Sliders, 1535 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero. Talk to me now.
Mario, are you going to get your gift card today?
No, not today. I got high school.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Big Fave.
All right, Fave. Well, hey, you have a great day. Great. You catch Big Fave, BT, Hunt Palmer on the call tomorrow on the LSU Sports Radio Network, pre- and post-game. Hello, somebody. Have a good one, Fave.
Hello. Have a good one, fella.
All right, go Tigers. Let's go, baby. Do your job.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Big Fave wants to play safe, wants to play quarters, wants to play safe coverage. You want to hit that on the other side when we come back?
Yeah, we can hit that on the other side because, it's complicated. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street. The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Rhule for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Rhule a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
His name was King. He had a horse along.
Join me for a Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Corks, Preston Guy of TigerBait.com, my SEC gambling picks, and my final pick for LSU-Bama and Saints-Bears. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We'll talk to Ryan Fowler next here on Off the Bench. But first, so it's interesting because Jake and Fave are at odds, I think, with how they want to handle coverage against Alabama. Fave saying, force everything underneath you. Don't allow the big play. Of course, that's I think Jalen Milroe's third in the country in yards per completion. It's something like 16 yards per completion or something crazy. It's just like it's very feast or famine. And so Fave's saying he wants to play coverage and not allow those big plays and force them underneath you. But Jake's saying he would maybe rather try to get after him, right? And if you have young freshman corners, do just, tell them to play man, right? Just man up because there's something there. Like, so what is your because look, okay, from where I sit, I think I see some of the pros and cons of both, right? If you're going to force him to play underneath you, in theory, that's when Alabama has struggled this year. If you force him to sustain drives, and that's like when Jalen Milroe's made mistakes or drives stall out. At the same time, if they do sustain drives, well, then you're taking the ball out of Jaden Daniels' hands, like maybe limiting possessions. And it's more frustrating to watch a freshman lose in zone coverage than it is to lose in just man-on-man coverage. And then so if you're playing man, it's like, okay, well, that's a skill set that's probably more natural for a freshman corner because it's what they've been doing through 7-on-7 in high school and everything their entire life. And maybe you get more aggressive, you get after Jalen Milroe. But in doing so, maybe you open yourself up to those quick scores and those big plays. So I see, like I said, I see some of the reasoning behind both there.
So for me, you're going to play quarters. Like, it's who you are. And when you play at 46.6% of the time over the last 3 games, I know you're going to play it. It's going to be something you do. You're also going to play cover 3. But with a bye week, with having some players that in a very loud environment, right, sometimes those checks are going to be difficult. So you don't play a ton of cover 6. You play it enough. Like, you want to make sure that, hey, this side knows their quarters, this side knows their halves, like all those things. But also, like, there's a lot of things that you can do in a bye week to come up with some quarter beaters. Like, just pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, when people say quarters, it's like it's safe. There's a lot of route concepts that can beat quarters. And so it's not as safe as you think it is. I'm okay playing it because it's who you are. That's fine. It's in your DNA. But it's also, that's kind of playing scared. So, hey, we're going to keep everything in front of us. No, there's routes. And when you look at what Alabama has at receiver, the skill set that they have, I actually think that they're going to be able to have some advantages if you play that kind of coverage. Certainly if you play it basically half the time. So I'm not calling for you to turn into, Zach Arnett playing cover 0 on every third down because you feel like, no, I'm not calling for that. You've played 0 the last 3 games about 4% of the time. You've played cover 1 about 9% of the time. How about cover 1 about 15 to 20% of the time? How about 0, maybe 8% of the time, right? I'm not talking about wholesale changes, T.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about changing it up. And I was talking with Flynn yesterday on Hey Fightin' podcast, shout out, drinkmyhigh.com, always. And do it in downs you're not expecting it. Like, don't do it in third down, like a passing situation, when I'm ready to block up 0 because I know I've got to have sub protection in there. What about first down?
Yeah.
Right? What about second down, like a rundown? Like, change it up. Don't be predictable. That's what I'm calling for. Because if you just line up and you're playing quarters and cover 3, so that would be, that would be about 80% of the time. Well, hell, I'm going to come up with a scheme knowing that you're going to play one of those 2 coverages, and I'm going to be able to be very successful against you. So, no, don't go out there. Don't just do that. It's been okay because of the teams you played. They can't threaten you. I think Alabama can threaten you with the receivers and the skill set that they have. So, again, not wholesale changes, but do it enough where you keep them honest and it's a change of pace for you because we saw that work. And you brought up a great point. In 2021, they played 0 a ton that game in Tuscaloosa. They were not ready for it.
Yeah, which there was no film on. There was no film on. And you had a better secondary, admittedly, sure, But yeah, you shut down Bryce Young playing cover zero. It shut down the rushing attack, and it's how you almost ended up.
I mean, you had a thin
stealing
secondary in
that
that game too.
That's true.
I mean, you had you had way more experience, but you were thin that game, and guys stepped up. Who was the linebacker? Jones, transfer from Clemson, Mike Jones. Remember, he had a couple of big moments in that game, and we hadn't seen him really at all that year.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of big moments in that game.
Yeah, I think there's probably some hay to be gained on trying to really confuse Jalen Milroe and take advantage of the bye week, because Jalen Milroe feels like right now, Jake, he's where Jaden was last year, where they were basically cutting the field in half and giving him simple high-low kind of reads. Now we all know that Jaden's working through his entirety of his progression and is seeing the entire field like Matrix style. We can get you that Jaden Daniels pass chart. But it feels like Jalen Milroe, again, is where Jaden was last year. Cutting down, Tommy Reese trying to cut down the field. High-low to give him easy, quick decisions to make. And so with that in mind, yeah, I think you could probably make a lot of hay. And this is where, like, an NFL game planner like Matt House has to show his value.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like you could make a lot of hay by disguising things and having it look like zero to drop into quarters, or look like quarters to turn into zero. And I'm not a smart enough defensive mind to know exactly what that looks like, but Matt House is, right? And hopefully you can see some of that. And for Matt House, man, look, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year. But we always talk about great challenge, a great opportunity, are two sides of the same coin. And so is this hard? Yes, given your personnel limitations, trying to create a good game plan that can shut down an offense that's been very explosive this year. It is hard, but it is that get-out-of-jail-free card. Like, if you go win this game and you do it on the heels of an offensive performance that not a lot saw coming, well, then all of a sudden, you're good. You're good. Nobody really cares about Florida State anymore. Nobody really cares about Lane Kiffin and Oxford and that awful defensive performance anymore. So there's this is a golden ticket game for Matt House.
Before we go to break, Jake has nailed it on this defensive thing about disguising what you need to do. Go back and watch Alabama versus Texas and Alabama versus Ole Miss. Those are by far Milroe's two worst games, and Ole Miss and Texas both did a really good job of disguising blitzes, disguising coverage. In those games combined, Jalen Milroe, 58% completion, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's Ole Miss and Texas combined. They only scored 26 against Ole Miss. They lose the game to Texas. I think that's the way to go. He has struggled against that mightily all year long. I understand he's athletic. I get that he's had success down the field. He is far from a complete quarterback in terms of being able to throw the football. Like you mentioned, he's Jaden a little bit last year. They're kind of simplifying things for him right now. You confuse him back there in front of a shaky offensive line, I think you could force him into some turnovers.
Yes, and I'll go back and I'll pull the numbers on maybe the coverages that those teams had in that game to kind of give you a better idea. We got a question, what is quarters coverage? Quarters it's a 4-deep concept. You have 3 underneath guys. You typically do it against pass-heavy offenses and also use your safeties to try to stop the run. You've got 4 guys corner both safeties in deep quarters, right? They take a quarter of the field. You've got 2 flat defenders and you have a hook defender. Again, it's pretty basic in what it is. I mean, there's a couple of things that you can do to be able to be a quarters beater. Some people like to run, double post with something coming back on the outside as well. I mean, there's a couple of different things that you can do, but I'll do that. I'll pull up the numbers of what Texas did, what Ole Miss did to kind of tell you where LSU's mindset probably is as far as what coverage you're coming up with this week.
Yeah, and I've got a text into my boy Colin Wilson. That's the Snaps gambling guy who's been pretty spot on. Now, again, he likes Bama this game, and it's all kind of built up the idea that Bama's well-suited to stop LSU's inside zone. I don't know if I agree with that, but one thing he has been very good at is using coverage and how quarterbacks perform against types of coverages as indicators for what may happen. So we'll get you those answers in a bit as well. Coming up next, let's go to T-Town as we talk to my guy, Ryan Fowler, here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. Go there today if you want to buy a new vehicle. Maybe you want to lease. Maybe you want a Toyota certified used vehicle. Maybe you just need a rent. Hit up Miss Lisa Sessions. She's going to get you right, man. The bottom line is that whatever you and your family need, if you want the best price, you want All-Star Toyota, the best selection. You can customize it however you want. What I love, though, again, it's the people, man. And it's like When you have to go in and get it serviced, the customer service, the ease of use, the open lines of communication, the sales team, everybody top to bottom is top notch. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Go to the website today. Remember, buying new, you can customize your vehicle however you want it, no matter what you want on there. You go to the website, you build your Toyota. You can actually take things away as well. If there's an option on there and you think, hey, I don't need that, that's not going to benefit me, you can take it away. Now, certainly you can add things. You can customize however that paint job wants to look at, that murdered out mini black on black on black. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well.
Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Final preps and picks for LSU-Alabama. Phil Steele and the Riot Radio Hours. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Right now, it's time to sully ourselves with some elephant excrement as we head over to T-Town to talk to my guy, Ryan Fowler, at Ryan C. Fowler on Twitter, host of The Game with Ryan Fowler on 100.9 in Tuscaloosa. Also, the man who proudly claims the most masturbatory segment in all of radio, where at 5 p.m. every single day he lists off all the Alabama All-Americans, the SEC championships, the national championships.
Claimed or earned?
You never know with these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally don't count any natties pre-integration, but these Alabama people are pretty dumb, so they tend to act however they act. But he is actually an Alabama alum, which is not necessarily par for the course for the Tide fans. Ryan, what's up, man? What's going on?
Man, you guys have disrespected me like in the first 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
I mean, your producer calls me and he wants to smack talk me, man. I mean, he disrespected me. He's like, tiger bait.
Yeah.
Tiger bait.
Good. I'm glad, because that's what it is. Look, we're feeling violent this morning, right? And you know why? Because, like I said, you list off all the championships and everything every single day, right?
You want me to do it now?
No, I do
No,
not.
not yet.
No, I
No,
do not. No.
chill.
Okay.
Though, again, enjoy it, because you're going to be stuck on a lot of those numbers for probably the rest of your life pretty soon here.
We have been for a couple of years, which is kind of odd. Right?
Which is odd. And so now we arrive at my point, Ryan. Earlier I said that if you're an LSU fan, you've been given a bit of a gift. You've been given a point of leverage, a crowbar to wrench open the ribs of your enemies and ruin their time and drink their blood. And when you think about it, what is this game if not just that? Because right now, Alabama sits on a precipice, right? They've never gone 3 years under Nick Saban without winning a national championship. They haven't gone 2 years without winning the SEC West since, 2010 and 11? So over a decade now? I don't know when the last time y'all would have lost 2 games in Tuscaloosa was. So there's all these signs, right? All these points, these data points that hinge on Saturday. And if LSU wins, then it will be painfully clear, Ryan, that your time is at an end.
Well, let me say this. This is one of Nick Saban's weaker teams as a whole. This is probably one of his weakest coaching staffs as a whole, top to bottom. There is some signs that there's some cracks in the foundation, but to be fair, and I know you and I talked about this yesterday, the way that Saban has been able to navigate this, if he can coach this team to 7-1, if he can beat LSU Saturday evening in Bryant-Denny Stadium, beat Kentucky, beat Auburn on the road, make it to Atlanta, in my opinion, this may be his best coaching job. So don't give up on Saban yet. Hold on just a little bit longer.
Hey, Ryan, I want to ask you kind of the fan base pulse, though, because I do agree with what you said. I mean, if Coach Saban gets this done, I mean, it is his best coaching job, and this team was left for dead after they lost to Texas. But what's the fan base reaction to this Alabama team? Like on your show, like is there still belief that they can go out there and do all the things that Bama's done over the last decade plus, or do they think that at some point this season it will come to an end?
This has been like a roller coaster. Have you guys ever been to Six Flags, the Great American Scream Machine, up and down,
hell yeah,
up
I
and
love Scream
down?
Machine.
I mean,
So that's where Alabama fans' confidence has been. It's been high moments where, listen, they're going to stomp everybody. They're going to kick everybody in the teeth. There's nobody got a chance. And then there's been other chances like, are they going to lose to Arkansas? Are they going to lose to Tennessee? I mean, go back to the first half against Tennessee. This is just the previous game before the bye week.
Yeah.
That first half, I mean, if you surveyed fans during that first half, I bet you 80-90% thought they were going to get beat by Tennessee. Now, they'll tell you that they believe that the second half was coming, but there was no sign of the second half. This team has been sloppier than any Nick Saban team I've covered. Many times they don't even say the things that a Nick Saban team tells you. I mean, I remember talking to Jacob at SEC Media Days, talking about how joyless murder ball, which is just running the football and, for their standpoint. I remember asking about physicality. They've been none of that. They thought they were going to have this big dominant offensive line. They've done none of that.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to use the tight ends. They've done very little of that. This team has has not been what we expected, and what was a strength going into the season has become a weakness.
Well, but let's talk about the second halves, because it's now 3 games in a row in which Alabama has gotten down by not 3 in a row, because I think the Arkansas one's actually mixed in there as well. But 3 games this year in which Alabama's gotten down by increasingly large deficits at half, only to take over for the final 30 minutes. And what in your review, your estimation, what has been the biggest difference in those games between first half and second half Alabama?
Well, they make great halftime adjustments, but in the first quarter, normally they win the toss and defer to the second half, which most teams do, and they get off to this sluggish start. They normally watch them win the toss as they defer. I would almost prefer to go, hey, let's go offense. Let's try to find some way, to strengthen that. I know what they're trying to do, but that third quarter has been their most productive quarter on both offense and defense. Go back to Texas. The third quarter was their best quarter. But that first quarter, the second quarter, they almost kind of start to turn it around a little bit. But that first quarter has been just sluggish. It has been where you're looking like, guys, did they get the memo that they were starting at 2:30? Did they thought it was good? I mean, it's that type of performance. And I don't know if that's just nervous anxiety. I don't know if it's, because that was the theme word last year, right? Everybody had anxiety.
Yeah.
That came straight from Will Anderson. So I don't know if that's carried over. That first quarter has become the anxiety quarter, but they've been very slow at starting this year. So
did they actually come back to take the lead in that third quarter against Texas? I'm trying to remember.
I think they did in the Texas, or it was close. Maybe they tied it up, but then Texas stretched out in the fourth quarter, and it was over. At that point. So it was.
Ron, let me ask you this: outside of Jalen Milroe, because obviously the quarterback position, who do you have as the player for Alabama that has to have the best game?
It's got to be Jermaine Burton.
Yeah,
that's
I think so too.
Yeah, and he's a talker. He likes to chatter, so you never know when the personal foul is going to get called. But you almost have to take that risk because he's that dominant, of a player. He's starting to be that leader in that wide receiver room. At the early part of the season, I didn't think they had one in that room. I just thought it was just sporadic. But see, that's another part of the thing. When you look at Alabama, if you're I was going to say LSU's defense, but I'm not really sure they have one. But if you're the defensive coordinator, who do you circle on Alabama? Who do you say, I've got to cover this guy? I got to know where this guy's on the field. Well, I don't know if Alabama has one on the offensive side of the football, at least so far, 8 games in. That they've just been kind of by committee. Somebody takes over and, does some special things.
What about the offensive line? That's maybe, like you said, I think entering this season, that was supposed to be the strength of this team, and it's been a bit disastrous thus far. Now, again, I actually think this is actually a kind of good matchup for this Alabama offensive line, and that LSU's defensive front has been nothing to write home about. They don't especially get after the quarterback or cause a bunch of havoc like Alabama's been wanting to give up this year. Like, that's where they really seem to struggle against Texas and others, and even Tennessee in that first half. What's the current view on this offensive line as it matches up against LSU?
It's a weakness. Now, we've kind of used this as a launching pad. Maybe this team found confidence against Tennessee in that second half because they started to kind of call plays. Because I do think this offensive line could be productive if they'll lean on these guys. They're kind of road graders. But really, you've not seen Tommy Rees rely on that. I mean, he's been very generic with his play calling. It's really been strange. I mean, I guess that's where you want to start is, Tommy Rees was not Nick Saban's first choice. He was on down the list. And so you don't really have this immediate acceptance. And now, 8 games in, if I asked the approval rating of Tommy Rees, it's probably a B-, C+, maybe even lower. So when you look at this offensive line, if they'll lean on these guys, I think there's an advantage there. But listen, they've not been able to show that they can pass protection, against teams like South Florida. I mean, they've been very sloppy. Now, Roberts at right guard has been a nice transition. Darian Dalford went down with an injury. He stepped up, and he's really been kind of a pretty solid guard. Caden Proctor, I've kind of in my mind just said they're not going to get him any help as a true freshman left tackle. They're not going to try to just slide anything. They're not going to try to over pressure or allow somebody to overrush. They're not going to get him any help. And he's a Jenny Craig Weight Watchers NIL program.
He's a big
gotta
boy.
lose some pounds. He is a big boy. Well,
6'7", 360 according to the Alabama bio.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's 360. I mean he looks massive, and I'm not sure they shouldn't have played him inside for the first year, and then try to find his weight, get him into control, and find a way. But they didn't have any other options at left tackle. I mean, they were pretty thin at that left tackle spot, so they have tried a couple different combinations. But this offensive line, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's been a game where they played all five of the same offensive line. It may have been one or two games in a row, but they've been very inconsistent there. So you say 8 games in, they're trying to still find their 5 best. But they seem to have settled on those guys in the last couple of games. So Roberts has really solidified that right guard spot.
Yeah, I mean, again, in that second half against Tennessee, they threw it 7 times. So the offensive line seemed to get it going that day. Ryan, what happens tomorrow? Give us your awful, inbred, ignorant, gumpy take. What happens tomorrow?
You forgot championship.
Okay, relax.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, because we do. I mean, we have 18.
No.
29 SEC championships. We have 145 first year Alabama. Hey, and somebody brought a stat up to me, and I want to make sure that you guys are taking care of Bryant-Denny West down there. Okay.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize that Alabama had not lost in Bryant-Denny from 1969 to 2000. Is that a true stat?
Are you talking about in Death Valley?
Yes.
As I understand,
I know 2 years they lost.
Yeah.
04 for sure. 06 for sure.
2010 for sure.
Well, no.
Last year for sure.
69 to 2000.
Look, I don't know.
Oh, look, what do you know? An Alabama fan living in the past.
Yeah.
Who could have seen it? Who could have seen it?
But hey, it's going to be a really good game. I think it'll be a fourth quarter game. I think Vegas is always spot on for a reason. I had it 34 to 30. I think if Alabama's going to win this game, and I know T-Bob and I talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think this can be a shootout. If it's shootout, it favors LSU because it tells me that defense of Alabama could not win because that's the advantage. Alabama has got to win that battle from defense to the best offense in the country. If they don't, then they probably don't have a chance. And if this thing gets in the 40s, it tells me that defense did not come to play and did not slow down Jaden Daniels. They allowed him to run all over him last year. Then LSU probably favors them. If it's in the 20s, it really favors Alabama because they really, made LSU play sloppy. And I've been trying to correct Alabama fans when they call in and they give me 17 points for LSU when they prediction. I'm like, guys, come on. I mean, I know we've got those crimson thick colored glasses, but you're not slowing down that offense. I mean, they're going to come here with a lot of confidence, as they should. 34-30. I like Alabama 34-30. But I wouldn't run to the bank to grab some money to go to Philadelphia, Mississippi, and drop some coins. I would just I'd sit back and enjoy it. And that's why we love college football.
We can gamble here in Louisiana.
Yeah,
you ain't even got to go to Mississippi.
We don't even have lottery here, man. We don't even have lottery. So
what?
I always thought it was weird that you had to be 19 to get tobacco products in Alabama.
Did you?
It's a bit odd, yeah.
1 year older?
Yeah,
okay.
I think you still do. And to watch porn or something, maybe. I don't know.
But only 15 to marry your cousin, though, right?
Yeah,
right, T-Bob?
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
there you go. Now we're getting the jokes.
Oh, they raised
right.
that age? At that age, I thought it was 13.
It could be. I'll double check.
Yeah.
I'll have an answer for you next time I'm on.
All right, appreciate it, Ryan.
Ryan Fowler.
I'm that type of guy. And hey, Jacob, thanks for responding to my text.
There it is.
Hey,
it's a busy week.
Hey, also though, I did tell T-Bob. I forgot as soon as he said you were coming on today. I was like, I forgot to hit my guy back. But also, I'm on off campus every day, so know your friends.
Yeah.
Know what they do for a living.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't.
I know. Yeah.
That's why we recorded SEC Media Day.
But I wanted to apologize to you because I missed this team so much. Like, I thought this team was going to be physical. I thought they were going to run the football. I remember asking you about, can you still do it? I mean, how about my boy Cole Kubelik up in Birmingham? He changed his prediction from LSU to Alabama because he thought this offensive line was going to be dominant. I mean, a lot of us missed it. We missed it.
Well, I actually like you, so I won't miss you Saturday, but, I hope all is well. Ryan C. Fowler, host of the game, 100.9, Tiger Bait, suck on D's,
Love
Ryan. We'll see you later, man. You have a good one. Take it easy. Coming up next, wrapping up hour 2.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Community Steel Co. Community Steel Company. That's communitysteelco.com. Community Steel Company, your local company for all your steel needs. Remember, they're changing the game right now. They're in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can go get all the purlin, tube, and steel buildings that you need. You go see them right there on site with your own eyes if you want. And remember, they're kind of disrupting the industry because they're getting straight from the wholesaler. They're making it on site, and then you're reaping the benefits. No middlemen jacking up the price for the consumer on the back end. Screw those national companies. Your steel needs are all in one place, and it's in Gonzales, Louisiana. Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
And they want you to know they're in Gonzales, Louisiana. They want you to know that it is local. They can help you today. They don't have to ask permission from somebody in Austin and Dallas and Houston, Atlanta, some other place. They make all the decisions here because they're here. That's what they are about. That number, 225-647-2020, 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go.
in the prep football season, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview presented by Brock. And we recap the night starting at 10 with Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care. On YouTube, Your View, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Literal tears. Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Obviously, look, we're very quick right here. We went very long. We got Rivers coming up to kickoff hour 3. We're putting together our Pontoon parlay as we speak. Hopefully, we're going to hit on that this weekend. We need another hit. I think we're about even now. I think we've missed enough, so we're back to even. I want to play a Matt Rhule speech that I think this speech will actually bring tears to your eyes. It's awesome. And boys, don't look now, okay? But Nebraska, after this weekend, should be 6-3, 4-2 in the Big Ten, and tied atop the Big Ten West, with 2 more very winnable games on the schedule. Like, I think 8-win Nebraska may actually happen.
Did you ever check your bet?
No. I don't know. I'll check it.
You probably bet it, though, whatever it was,
I'll
right?
probably bet it. I guess it's just
You
like
probably
open
already did.
bets somewhere.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. Hour 3 coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Friday, November 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect clear skies with a high of 77. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Hour number 3 of OTB. Yeah, my voice is there.
You want clear? Here you go.
No. It's nothing
just like
to
there.
clear.
It's just.
Okay.
I
just
woke
is.
up at 1 a.m. In pain and just never went back to sleep. So my voice is just completely shot at this point. But it's all good. It's all good. We're going to push through, okay? Because like we said, no beta energy today. It's a blood day today and tomorrow, this weekend. We're bringing full force, full rage, full anger, 24/7 with us. Rivs, what's up, though? Welcome into the studio. Looking very fall today. Very appropriate. Unfortunately, no champagne shenanigans for me today.
That's right. You just.
I know.
I'm just gonna be. I'll just hold the bottle. You know.
I'm sorry.
Look,
I'm sorry.
T-Bob's down bad right now, but he's trying everything he can to not be down bad.
Yeah. I didn't even
I appreciate
have
that.
a single beer on Halloween.
There are.
You know how hard it was as everybody in the neighborhood is walking around with delicious looking glasses of wine and tasty looking craft beers to not have a single beer the entire house. It really, a part of me died inside.
I just assumed you weren't here the day after Halloween because you drank too much.
I figured that's what everybody thought.
I'm gonna be honest. I just assumed. I heard it was just you. I was like, your guy. You got too deep into Halloween.
I was in.
I didn't even think about that.
Awful.
That was just literally like I didn't even question it. Like I was just like, oh, T-Bob drank too much.
I think after a full day of work, I just went too hard because I ended up. I love handing out candy on Halloween more than I like going trick or treating
And
with
I
my
did
kids.
see a video of you doing that, so I knew that you had participated in Halloween.
And I ended up going like full role playing for probably like I loaded down on some of the pain medicine that I had, and so I wrote a bit of a false confidence there. And for like I don't know 3 hours, I stayed in character in an English accent, acting like I was running a Hogwarts like sweet shop. Basically, I was trying to role play as if I was running like what was Fred and George's shop in Diagon
I don't
Alley?
know, but yeah.
Weasley's Whiz Bangs or something like that. Yeah, and it was actually really fun because my daughters ended up loving it, and they ended up becoming my little assistants, and they would like run and like hand everybody candy, and then we had a smoke machine that my daughter had the remote to, and she kept like, feeling like she was doing magic. Yeah. I'd be like, Dad, don't tell anybody about the remote. Otherwise, they're going to know that I'm just pretending.
Oh, that's
it was awesome. It was very fun.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why, but this champagne tastes especially good today. I mean, that's not even like me trying to make you feel bad. I just took that first sip, and I was like, oh.
What's crazy is when I tell you that after I smelled it, I have such a positive
vibes are feeling good.
Pavlonian.
Yeah.
I have such a positive Pavlonian response.
Pavlonian?
Pavlovian?
Pavlovian. You're right.
Yeah.
Pavlovian.
Mm-hmm. Look at you, though. Calling him on it.
No, I think he was just trying to get down the vocab word.
No, I have a.
You just didn't know what it was.
No, I have a T-Bob
He
word
said
bank.
it wrong.
Yeah.
Was my point.
Well, yes. I usually Google it because I spell it wrong when I write it down anyway. So I have
we
a
were
T-Bob
all three
word
doing
bank.
different things
Yeah.
there.
So we're talking about Pavlov's dog, right?
Yeah.
You ring the bell, the
Mhm.
dog starts to salivate because you've trained him that when you ring the bell, you feed him.
You're
As soon as that champagne smell hit my nose, I can literally, I have literal salivation.
That is how I feel
going on right now. It sounds
anytime
so
I hear
good.
a pop.
Oh.
I'm having a restaurant and I'm just sitting there and I hear from the bar just like a pop of that champagne. I'm like, ooh.
I mean, I have bigger goals though, and
I know.
it is to
I appreciate
try to
that.
be healthy tomorrow.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not.
I bet tomorrow goes well for you.
I'm
down
not
one.
feeling awful today from the shingle standpoint. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see where we end up tomorrow.
I want to see you tomorrow night at Don Juan, and I want to see you in that chair with like an IV hooked up to you because like
Actually,
you've just gone so hard in the game.
Would go great.
That's not a bad idea. People do that.
Well, we've done that before. That was probably one of my funniest, and like just the.
Have done that at Don Juan before?
Yes, GoFlow has sponsored a few whiskey and wines, and one of them, maybe it was Kentucky, sometime 2 years ago. No, I think we won because I feel like everybody's in a good mood.
Say Kentucky, they need to put something better in the IV after that one.
No, that was the most brownout drunk we've ever been. Was after that at Lexington ass whipping in 23. That was just horrible. That was when I had to kind of dial back and find my drinking target, but. I do remember laughing, feeling like, man, have I reached local radio man heaven as I was sitting there. I had a Mezcal in hand. I had an IV drip feeding into me, and I'm smoking a cigar in a leather chair inside talking about football. I'm like, wow, what a life we lead that here
Your
I
day
have
was sponsored by a lot of people.
I feel like
yeah.
the first thing you need to do when you leave the show today is to make that call to GoFlow. What are we doing here?
Well, yeah, I got to go to a doctor for something else immediately after the show ends today, but, well, it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter. F it, okay? F it.
T-Bob is just out here fighting for his life.
It's been a good mental test in crap popping up at the time when you feel like you can least afford it and least want it. But again, I took off Wednesday because I was feeling so bad, and I was like, maybe rest will help. It did not. And it was at that point when I talked to the doctor when he basically said, look, you're not going to make it worse. So it's just like a pain tolerance thing. Ugh. So that's just, that's what we do. We just going to tolerate it.
Cool.
But no, it's been cool. I've just convinced myself that like, you just got to think about how pain is just basically it's just a neural electric feeling the same way pleasure is. Like it's not really real. It's just your brain telling you you're hurting.
What did Moffitt used to say about pain?
I don't know. At least like
Coach
I know
Moffitt,
though,
if you're listening, you used to tell us something about pain. Text me that quote.
I would say this. Some of it at times, if I didn't know what it was, I would feel like I was having like a heart attack or something. So without like the panic attack fear of, oh my God, I'm dying, it is actually kind of easier to just pretend that it's what you call that it's fake.
Good endorphins.
Or that it's just
that sounds like some Moffitt stuff.
It's literally just my
Like
nerves. It's just my nerves playing tricks on me.
Okay.
Like my heart's. I'm not like injured. It's somewhat, yeah. Somewhat. It stops me from thinking like I'm gonna die.
I was thinking about you, and actually like Moffitt, and just in general, y'all playing football, because I finally watched the Swamp King documentary. Finally, I'm like the last. When did that come out?
Wait.
Beginning of football?
Which one? The
Florida.
August, maybe?
The Untold, the Swamp King, the Florida documentary.
Okay.
I'm the last to watch it.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me give you just like a little, I'll just give you some cliff notes here. Spotted you. You made the documentary.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we paused, we rewound. I was like, yep, there he is. I meant to send you a picture, but it was like just a brief second of you running out of the tunnel before the game.
They didn't show him trucking minor wrong?
I think it was 07, you running out of the tunnel.
Minor
wrong. And but there was this part where they were talking about like the weight room or whatever, and Brandon Spikes was talking about how he was like the leader in the weight room, and like when they were just trying to get in shape, and these freshmen, they were doing these like core exercises. I don't know what they were doing. They were just doing these things where you had to hold your legs up, and he was like, hold your legs up, and like the freshmen kept dropping, and finally he was like, you drop your legs one more time, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Why?
And he said, and you know what happened? He was like, he dropped his legs, and you know what happened?
I punched him in the face.
I punched him in the face. And I was like, oh God, T-Bob, what would you have done?
What?
Would Brandon Spikes have punched you in the face?
I mean...
Right. See, but at LSU,
tough to say.
at LSU, the good thing about it, we actually had a culture. Florida didn't have a culture. If Brandon Spikes would have punched T-Bob in the face, 6 people would have hit him.
But no, everybody loved it because everybody loved Brandon Spikes.
Yeah,
everybody loved Brandon Spikes. They were like, no, he's right. You need to keep your legs up.
It's tough to say. We didn't have a ton of inter-squad violence beyond the kind of being jumped in day at the end of camp. So
I will say this.
I don't know. That was tough.
I get why everybody. I understand both sides. I understand why everybody was like, this documentary is dumb, because it is. It's just a Florida hype video. That's what it is. They glazed over anything bad that happened in those like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, which they promised to show.
Right. They did not. And they mentioned some
well,
of
they
it.
at least presented it like they were going to.
They mentioned it. They did put it in the documentary, but it was really more of just like, this happened, this happened, this happened. Let's get back to the winning, you know? But honestly, it was cool. I mean, you say they didn't have a culture, and I know you hate Florida. Like, I get it. But I will say it actually kind of presented it. They interviewed a lot of players.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the one consensus is like there were times when they were up and down, but like the one thing that they kind of like came together with was like, we love each other and we're going to do this thing together.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so
great teams
disappointing
have
in
to
the
have
end, you know, like in that 2009 year, like that's why it sucked so bad because they they lost and then Urban retired or whatever, you know, but he was
fake
like,
sick.
Yeah, fake sick.
So you go to Ohio State.
One of my favorite quotes was like
2010, I'll never forget Urban Meyer on the fake field goal, sitting there doing incomplete, signaling Florida ball, incomplete, and then they review it. We get the ball. We win the game on a last-second touchdown, and Herb, has his fake health problems.
I will say that I feel like he was pretty forthcoming with, like, how he mishandled a lot of stuff. He was pretty honest about, like, he's like, I'll admit this, and this. I mean, you kind of have to at this point because we all know. But one of my favorite quotes from the whole thing was, like, I think it was, like, the first episode or something. Or maybe it was after they won that first national championship. And he was like, and I remember I was sitting with my dad, and I was like, wow, this is, like, I've never had a happier moment in my life. Like, this is one of the happiest moments. He's like, and I get to be this happy for the rest of my life. I get to do this every day for the rest of my life.
What was this happy moment?
After they won that national championship that first year. 07 or 6 or 7?
06,
okay.
I believe.
Yes,
We
he was
won
like,
07.
okay, so he was like, I was sitting there and I was looking at my dad and I was like, I get to be this happy for the rest of my life. And he said that, and I remember, and I was out loud, I was like, when did they film this? and then they cut away, and then they cut back, and he's like, and I just had no idea how wrong I was. I was like, that's the best part of this whole documentary. The only other thing I walked away from this, other than being like, whoa, what a great Florida hype video, was, wow, Tebow and Greg McElroy are my age. And I think it's this weird phenomenon where, like, logically, I just feel like athletes are always older than me. Always. I see Tebow and I see Greg and I'm like, you're at least 5 years older than me, even though I remember them when I was in college.
I know.
But, like, for some reason, my brain
Well,
has done this
McElroy
thing
has
where...
like just an old man. He seems very
Tim
responsible.
is probably 2 years older than Greg.
Yeah, it's...
Huh?
Yeah, Tim's older
one.
than...
He's one.
Okay, I know he's older.
Let's calm down.
But that's
because me and Tim are the same age.
Well, I'm just saying Tim and Greg would not be confused as Tim being older in public if you didn't know who they were.
I thought that Tim was like a couple years older than me. I straight up, my brain has been telling me that Greg is like at least 40 to 45.
Well, that's his vibe. It's his vibe for sure. Like even when he was in college, he had that uber responsible quarterback sort of vibe.
It didn't even click for me until there was like, I guess the 2009 game. And they were like, McElroy was just owning the game, like Florida, Alabama. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, did he just say Greg McElroy? I was like, having an existential crisis.
That's also that's the athlete thing, right? Like, what's CJ McCollum, 32?
And he feels 40.
And we talk about him like he's ancient. He's like the wizened old man leading the Pelicans, and he's younger than us.
Who else? There was Mark Ingram. They just kept naming people, and I was like, oh, God. I know y'all are my age, but I just feel like you're so much
I mean,
older.
it feels weird to me that CJ McCollum's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Based on how you think about somebody who's younger than you versus like that man's actually younger and yet he has all this wisdom and success and money and whatnot.
Another good scene was, I think it was either 08 or 09. I think it must have been 08. They played Mississippi State, or no, 09. They came to Mississippi State and they played us because it was my senior year.
Yeah.
And like we hung in there. We weren't winning. We were still losing, but we hung in there until halftime. And they show the players in the locker room, the Florida players, and one guy who no one even knows. I don't even know who this guy is. He's just some random player. He's like furious. And not even because like he's just like, they think they can hang with us. Like he was so furious about that.
That was
this is my favorite moment, honestly.
That was a T-Bob special back in the day, is I would work myself into a frothing rage over the very illogical idea that like
someone else thought they could beat you.
Well, yes, like I would feel disrespected that this other team even showed up for the game, which is crazy because they have to.
They have to.
I mean, like,
That's literally
they have
it.
contracts. Like you can't not show up. But I would convince myself. I would flip my brain to just be like, I cannot believe the audacity
That's what this guy
of
was
these guys to think that they can be on the same field.
He was
with
sitting
us.
in just that terrible Mississippi State visitors locker room.
Yeah,
he
it
is
was so
just
bad.
talk about fighting for your life. He's just sitting there. Nobody even knows what your name is, guy, and he is furious.
Yeah.
He is furious that we have shown up for a game at our own field.
Yeah,
he is
yeah,
so mad, and I'm like, that's perfect. That's awesome.
Josh Tarasa got so mad about that at that locker room that he actually just straight up broke a window. He just elbowed a window and shattered it.
So there was that. But I mean, it was not a great documentary. But you know what I'll say is if you're a Florida fan, wow.
Yeah, it's great if you're a Florida
fan. It really is.
You're celebrating your golden
age.
age.
A bunch of front runners, fake tough guys. Screw Florida. Can't wait for next week. Your little hype video. Nobody cares. You're not a tough guy. Every single one of you. You got trucked by me. You're not cool. You're not tough.
Right, mine are wrong.
All right,
You
get
know
out
what
of
you
here.
should do leading up to? Oh, you should watch it next week. It will make you
Yeah, it's
so
true.
mad.
It's actually
It
true.
will make you
I'm getting
so
mad right now.
I can't believe they didn't
Bunch
put
of
Jay.
front
I need to
runners.
bring it up. You were gonna get so mad, but I was so excited. I got to see you. You were there.
I can't believe they didn't put Jake taking Major Wright's soul in there, though. That's cowardice.
I think I know Major mentioned my name in it. And Major's actually, of all the people in that, Major's actually a really good dude. Now, the other ones, front runner.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember who else was in it. There was a lot.
Brandon
There was,
Spikes whipped my ass back in
oh
the day.
wow.
You get me.
Who else was
He
it?
got us.
Brandon Seiler.
It's that is who punched the guy in the face.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's who punched the guy.
So
not
I
Brandon
played
Spikes.
with B-Side in San Diego for 3 years.
Okay, so he there was a really cool scene where he was like, when he decided to leave, where he brought Brandon Spikes into the field and he was like, you know what, this was my field, but now it's yours. He did this like, passing of the baton situation. Did you ever do that?
No.
Oh, no.
You knew what it was. You knew the deal.
You knew the deal. It's yours now. So yeah, it was not a great documentary.
I can't.
But it will make you furious.
Can't wait for next week.
3-2
Next week, right? Next week, LSU, Florida.
Yeah, right.
Right.
A bit later than normal.
Yeah.
All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's put together a pontoon parlay. And just wait until you hear from my boy, Matt Rhule. The Corn Hub vibes have never been higher. Also continue to just look. It's Football Friday, y'all. So keep it locked right here. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN.
OTB, OT.
ITI Technical College. Is that T-font like?
I think maybe.
T-font?
I think maybe.
That is a blast from the past. Wow. That's an early OTB type person. Even predates me, obviously. But you know what else predates me? ITI Technical College. For 50 years, they've been taking care of Louisiana students. And look, man, you want a career, you get that AOS degree. Yeah, predates you as well. You get that AOS degree in just 2 years from ITI. Look, they can work around your schedule even if you work full time. They help you out with like mock interviews. They have pathways to internships, job fairs. Look, change your life for the better. Take control of your life with ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu.
Go to that website today. You can find admissions at iticollege.edu. You can send them an email. You can find that number, 877-591-1070. You can find where they're located off Airline Highway. Go see the campus today, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal. a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
On 104.5 this Sunday to catch 3 different NFL games. We start with the noon kickoff, the Seahawks at Ravens. Immediately following that, it's the Cowboys and Eagles. And then our night game, the Bills at Bengals. Catch all of those games here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB.
All right.
T-Bob Rivers, Jake, hang out with the Mario and Taylor as well.
Freaking Riley Cooper was the no-name guy. But, like, whatever. It's a better story if he's just like some random guy.
I feel him, though. It's irrational, but I get it. Okay, early read on the Pontoon parlay, boys. What do we not like here? We got Kentucky minus 4.5 in Starkville. Under 49.
You're going to the game, so that bodes well.
I am. Well, but
for
it's
Kentucky.
funny. Look, I am going to the game. It has absolutely nothing to do with the game. They're honoring the 1998 team at halftime for
they made it to
homecoming.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we were the one SEC West.
Yeah.
They were an incredible team. It's Wayne Mackin. I'm always, it's my guy.
Something Ole Miss has never done.
Pork Chop, never done. Pork Chop Womack, great O lineman.
Yep. Pork Chop Womack.
Great name.
That's Pork Chop. Well, his name's Floyd Womack, and apparently his mom. Yeah. Well, apparently his mom, when he was really when he's like a baby, he was just fat. He was chunk,
Yeah.
And there was some wrestler, I do not know, Pork Chop somebody. Anyways, his mom was like, "You remind me of this wrestler, Pork Chop, whoever." And so she started calling him that. He said when he went to college, he was like, "Mom, I cannot go into college as Pork Chop. Like, I want people to respect me. I'm Floyd." And he said that when they did like meet the team or whatever, his freshman year or whatever, Jackie Sherrill got up and he was like, "Pork Chop Womack." And like for the rest of the time he was there, he was Pork Chop. But like JJ Johnson, running back, I mean, it's a really cool team. And so they're honoring them at halftime. So I think I'm mostly just there for the 1998 team.
25 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't love that. I always hate betting against a team when they're doing like an honoring thing.
And they love this. If Mississippi State loves any team, it's this one. So maybe
I
that'll
saw
give them a little
the
juice.
interlocking MSU.
That's
on the
that
middle
year.
field,
Yeah,
right?
that was like the core of interlocking MSU.
Ole Miss -3 versus A&M.
No.
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 I don't know, dude. Have you ever seen A&M's awful on the road? Like, they're horrible. A&M's lost 8 in a row on the road. They're 7-15 all time. Jimbo Fisher at A&M has failed to score 30 points on the road 80% of the time.
I'm not even necessarily disagreeing with you, but there just feels like maybe there's other options out there.
Okay.
I mean, this is Vegas telling you this is basically a pick 'em with Ole Miss getting the
See, I think
the
it should
-3.
be. I'm just fading Jimbo Fisher here.
All right, I'll look for something else.
Kansas.
No, I'm not. Because T-Bob kind of likes it.
How do we feel about under 40? Yeah, no.
I just think in that kind of game, it's for the punt.
Under 49, Auburn Vanderbilt in Vandy. I kind of like the
under 49 is not a bad play. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if we don't like Kentucky, Mississippi State, like that's another one I was looking at.
I like Kentucky, Mississippi State. I think that's in. I like Kentucky minus 4.5.
All right, so Kentucky minus 4.5 over Mississippi State.
Let me just throw a couple out there. Texas minus 3.5 against Kansas State at home. That's one. And then Notre Dame minus 3 on the road against Clemson. That's another.
The only thing that makes me nervous about the Notre Dame thing, it's just the home dog aspect of Clemson. But I mean, again, Notre Dame smoked them last year and sent them into a tailspin that they've never pulled out of. Like they're 500 since Notre Dame whooped that ass last year, and Notre Dame's better this year and Clemson's worse. So I you know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I like Notre Dame minus 3. We can put that in there as well. Okay, so right now we'll say Kentucky minus 4.5 and Notre Dame minus 3. Ooh, 2 road favorites though. Feels a little stinky, y'all. A little stinky. We'll take Ole Miss out. What about a road dog? Kansas plus 2.5 at Iowa State. It's gonna be a sweater. It's gonna be a close one.
What do you
It's gonna
think?
be easy.
Kansas and
I
Iowa
think the
State.
champagne tastes so good. I don't know. I've checked out on football season.
All right,
I am
the game's-
so far
I don't
out of
blame you.
football season. I just.
All right, so the game is in Ames.
Yeah.
Iowa State's tied for first place in the Big 12.
No, I know
Kansas
all that.
is second. I don't hate that, though. But do you have a letdown from Kansas after the high of Oklahoma?
Maybe, but I like Lance Leipold. I trust him more than what's his face, Matt Campbell.
Yeah, look, Leipold, for all of his shortcomings, his teams always seem to show up to play
What
in big
shortcomings
games.
does he have?
And he gets us a dog.
No, I'm just saying, like, he's
For all of them.
The guy's got Kansas ranked.
You did just throw out like a cliche shortcomings thing.
The guy's got Kansas football ranked.
Before we dramatically overreact,
you said
I
shortcomings.
misspoke a little bit. Look, they started undefeated last year. They've came back down to earth a little bit is what I mean, but his teams always show up in big games.
Playing with a backup quarterback, still out there beating top 5 teams.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put. You know what? I'll go there with the Jayhawks. If y'all don't hate it, I'll put it in the parlay. That'll be mine.
If y'all don't hate it.
So, Jake, yours is Notre Dame minus 3?
I don't know. We still got 33 more minutes.
All right.
I'm
Right
just
now,
throwing
it's
it out
talk
there.
yourself into something
We're
else.
just brainstorming right now.
Right now, it looks like under 49 Auburn Vandy, Kentucky minus 4.5 at Mississippi State, Notre Dame minus 3 at Clemson, and Kansas plus 2.5.
Wait, what's
at
sorry?
Iowa
I
State.
missed that. Kentucky's what?
Minus 4.5.
Minus 4.5.
Huh.
Yeah.
That feels.
I just don't believe in Mississippi State.
No, I know.
Oh yeah, it feels like.
Oh, yeah,
slight-
yeah. What do we do here?
It was at 3, and apparently everybody jumped on
Yeah,
it. So
it was at 3.5
Really?
yesterday. It's
Yeah.
at 4.5 now.
We'll see.
I feel okay about that.
Yeah.
Texas, Kansas State started at 5, and it's down to 3.5.
Yeah.
Y'all surprised by that?
A lot of people
I
are
thought the
riding
other
Kansas
way.
State, though. Yeah, a lot of people like Kansas State. They're playing well lately.
I mean, they're the defending Big 12 champ for sure. I mean,
There
they
is
can go in there
one-
and give them a game, but
and then we still don't know Quinn Ewers, like what's going to happen there. Murphy was good last week.
Yeah.
Can he do it again? That's probably what people are looking at.
The home road statistical split on Kansas State is crazy, though. Like
Yeah.
they're incredible at home and they're awful on the road. Is the only thing that makes me worried about that game. All right, let's. What's Nebraska? Should we bet Nebraska? Just blind bet Nebraska.
Nebraska's minus 3 versus Michigan State on the road.
Oh, I don't
Road
hate it.
favorite.
Okay. Let's watch this Matt Rhule video.
Okay.
And really lock in here.
All right.
And tell me if we don't like that bet. Okay, here we go. This is.
All right, Matt.
This is. Oh.
Oh.
What are we talking about?
You got them all worked up.
Yeah, what did we talk about? I thought we've been saying we're going to play the video here with sound. Now what? I just got.
Last week during the game, T-Bob texted me during the Mississippi State game. T-Bob texted me, "I'm sorry." That's all it said. Joke's on you, man, because I'm not even watching the game. I'm not even interacting with football right now.
What happened when
Played
I
Auburn,
texted
right?
you?
Yeah, but I had to do like little kid birthdays all day, and so I wasn't around to
As we walk out this tunnel,
both
sides of the defensive
I just get a
line.
text message from
So you
T-Bob.
knew,
It just
though.
said, "I'm sorry," and I was like, Well, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even know what you're sorry about.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was.
I am
either.
disengaged. I do not care.
Something about, I'm sure, just Auburn scoring a bunch of points when they suck and haven't been able to score at all
You're
year
welcome,
long.
Auburn.
Peyton Thorne played the whole game, which he hasn't done all year.
How are we looking on that video, boys?
We're getting there.
What in the world
All right, I'm ready to
is
go.
going on?
We're good. We're good. We got it.
So what's it's Nebraska -3 at Michigan
Hold up,
State?
something keeps playing in the background.
I'm gonna fight
I can
someone.
see T-Bob
'Cause we
shingles.
talked
You need
about-
some champagne.
We talked about that before the segment started. My God.
All right, we're good now.
All
Love
right.
it.
All right, here we go. So here's Matt Rhule addressing his team. I think this was before maybe the first October game, but check out this speech. Pretty powerful stuff.
Now, as we walk out this tunnel, man, as we walk out this tunnel for the first time at the University of Nebraska, we have a pink ribbon on the back of our helmets. And obviously that's for all the wives, the moms, the sisters that have been affected by breast cancer, man. But it's even greater than that. It's a way for us to honor those in our lives, our mom, our grandmom, our girlfriend's mom, our aunt, the people in our lives who have fought for us. Because ain't none of us here of our own accord. Picking you up, taking you to school, fighting for you, taking a second job, battling, maybe keeping you away from the hard things in your life. She took it on so that you could just be a kid. Who is that for you? Who is that for you? Maybe it was your dad, maybe it was a coach. But man, they fought for you. They were warriors for you. These women that fight this battle, they're warriors. I saw it with my mom. I watched my mom battle breast cancer. I saw my mom fight. I watched my wife's mom fight. Knowing she probably was never even going to win the fight. Knowing that eventually she'd be up in heaven. Man, she was just fighting for 10 more minutes with her grandkid. 10 more minutes. She taught me how to fight. Who taught you how to fight? Who taught you how to be a warrior? A warrior doesn't need a weapon. A warrior is the weapon. You guys are warriors. You've been taught to fight. So as you take that field, fight for yourself. Fight for what you want. Fight for each other. But just remember who went to war for you in your life. Remember the woman that went to freaking war for you in your life, who sacrificed for you in your life. And whatever your job is today, standing there and cheering or catching a touchdown, man, do it without fear. Because every single day that my mom woke up fighting that battle, she had to do it with all the fear in the world, but put it aside to make sure my ass was good. That's who I go fight for today. As you walk up that tunnel, you see the ones that you love, look them in the eye. Don't tell them you love them. They're not here to watch you win. They're here to watch you play. They're here to watch you be you. And some of us don't have our moms here. I don't have my mom here. My mom's watching somewhere across the country. She's going to feel my joy. Some of us don't have our moms alive anymore, or grandma, whatever. That's my wife. But she's going to honor the way that her mother taught her to fight. This ain't emotional. This is joy, man. We're here because of the ones that love us. So if you don't have family here today, walk by my wife, walk by my daughters. You got family. If you don't have someone here today, Mrs. Piper's here. Her son's not here, but she's here. For us. Us. One word for Miss Piper. Give one word.
Oh, man. Dude,
Wow, I'm about to have a family stone moment up in here.
I know.
Woo.
I know. It is really hard not to tear up.
Whoa.
I'm glad that
watching
changed
that.
the other way at the end of the video. Because at the beginning, I was like,
Yeah.
don't pan back. Don't pan back.
They're going to come back to all three of us and we're all like tears in our eyes.
It's a little dusty up in here.
Oh, wow.
That's a hell of a speech from Matt Rhule, man.
is a speech.
I know. We talked earlier about like living lives of gratitude, and to me that's exactly what that is.
I think
right
like,
there, and that's a message that all these LSU players, anybody going to do anything any day of your life, can take with you. Honor those who fought for you.
I like he was like, they're not here to see you win.
Yeah.
They're just here to see you play. And
Yeah.
yes, you want to win, but like that's so true, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, whew.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Maybe Nebraska -3. I don't know.
No, it's not thinking.
More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org. Sheesh.
How are you going to make a poop joke now?
No, you can't. I mean, you really can't. Again, I think everybody's kind of got tears welling in their eyes looking for a chat and everything, though. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Look, man, they've been at it for 50 years. So you need somebody that's going to get it done. Hey, go to the people that have seen it all. Therefore, they can fix it all. I don't care if it's commercial, residential, whatever. Central Plumbing's got your back. 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you'll see that it's more than just emergencies. Now, look, even during an Alabama game, if you have an emergency, 24/7 also means 365. They're going to come out and fix it in every single situation, every single time of day, night, doesn't matter. CentralPlumbing.org is that website, but get that number, 225-925-8552. Look at what they can do for you in the remodel game. Always check out the tankless water heaters as well, CentralPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Rhule for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Rhule a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Board's marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Join me for a Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Corks, Preston Guy of TigerBait.com, my SEC gambling picks, and my final pick for LSU-Bama and Saints-Bears. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN.
All 4 picked
Yeah,
road favorites.
you can't go. Yes. No, that's right. We needed one road dog in there for sure.
For sure.
Do want to remind you to go to Page Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com, where you will see the difference when you work with Page Plus. It's that time of year where like cold, flu, all that sort of stuff's going around. And, well, you get into Page Plus, you're going to get in and get better for life's unexpected moments. And ask about the membership program while you're in there, where it's like $20 a month. You can pay for the whole year up front, get 10% off. But if you go just twice, I mean, you're already coming out ahead, and you get unlimited visits with that membership. So Page Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com. Okay, the parlay is ready to set sail. Here's to hoping that we can find our way back to successful waters once again.
A lot of road small like favorites this week.
I mean, this is a
so it's
insane
not crazy.
parlay.
Yeah.
Well, but I kind of feel like it is because all these are basically coin flip games.
Ugh.
Like is what we're playing.
I hope
here.
that 98 team takes the field. They play Who Let the Dogs Out, and
Yeah.
we just do it. And I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. The only problem is Zach Fartnett.
It's the only chance. Maybe, you know what? Hey, wait. You know what? Maybe the 98 team can do the halftime and then take over coaching.Maybe they can just coach the second half of the game.
I don't know
you
this
know?
off the top of my
Who
head,
doesn't
sorry.
want Pork Chop Womack coaching our offense?
The O-line, yeah.
You seen Mississippi State? Your hope is that the 98 team plays the second half.
What's y'all's eligibility?
Hey,
you know, what are we, I think
to-
only one of them played in the NFL. I
Yeah.
mean, what are we doing here?
To the point though, 2017 LSU Auburn. All right, it was our 10-year reunion of our
Yeah,
national championship
true.
team.
True.
LSU was down to Auburn. Looked like they were not going to win that game. We got honored at halftime. Got hype in the middle of the field with the
Yep.
crystal ball. LSU came out in the second half
Yeah.
and won that game.
It's true.
I'm
Jackie
just saying-
Sherrill's still alive. Is he going to be there?
Yes, Jackie
Okay.
Sherrill is still alive. I hope the 98 team comes out at halftime. They honor them. They take the sideline. They coach the second half.
I mean, it's tough though because it is Mark Poops, and I hate to trust him, but then it's also Zach Fartnett, and so I don't know exactly.
I think that you
what
want
to
me
make
to
sense.
laugh at it. I think that I was the
Well, I
only one
wanna
that
make
didn't
sure you
laugh,
heard it. I wanna
and
make
you
sure
wanted
you
me
heard
to
it 'cause you
laugh.
didn't like
I
it. You
did
didn't-
hear
no, you
it.
didn't hear it last time you were talking.
I heard it.
so
No,
I needed you to hear it.
You're like, just for emphasis, did
Yeah.
you hear? I
Yeah.
said,
Fartnet.
yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's disappointing because again, nice guy.
No,
Everyone
he's out.
loves him, but not enough. We don't love him that much.
No.
It'll be okay. So, like in these
Sorry, Zach.
situations, it's a lot like other situations we talked about. First time head coach, you have nothing to fall back on.
Right.
Like you can't be like, well, it's okay because when Zach Arnett was the head coach at San Diego State,
Right.
he turned it around. He wasn't head coach.
This is it, yeah.
And so when you get your first opportunity in the SEC, you don't have that even group of five. Like Eli Drinkwitz, Missouri fans, like they were always like, hey,
I mean,
it's okay. But like App State,
Right.
you had this situation. And when you don't have that, sometimes as a fan base,
I
it
mean,
can be tough.
Do
You
y'all
had
remember
casual.
Will Rogers? Like he still plays football, right?
You were
Like I used to ask if Jackie
hey,
Sherrill was alive. Is
Hey.
Will Rogers still on the team?
Hey, look,
This man was
I'm not
about to
making
set
these
all the
decisions.
records.
I feel bad for him because he is again a nice guy. But yes, you are correct. Like we're just kind of like, all right then, on to the next one. I don't know. How do you think that feels as a
'Cause what,
coach?
was Joe Moorhead a year?
Two, right? Two. Yeah, we gave him.
That's
We gave
quick.
him. We gave him another chance.
All I know is John Cohen can catch these hands. F him, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Hiring
he did do
Arnett
this.
And then like peace out. Like,
But to
later,
be
y'all.
fair, Arnett felt good. Like he felt right during the hire. I mean, he did at the time.
The bowl game
after
felt
Mike
good.
after Mike Leach died,
Yeah.
Zach Arnett felt right. That's true. He did. I mean, we were all like, we weren't sure. You know, we
Can
had
I also
nothing to.
say Mississippi State, and then they might, but they need to know that they can go get a proven
Right.
coach too.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
They secretly have one of
wait.
the more consistent programs in the
Yeah.
SEC.
Another good part of this Florida documentary, Dan Mullen's like in half of the documentary, they never even address when he leaves. Like
Yeah.
they showed the Mississippi State Florida game.
Yeah.
The first year he coached as our coach against Florida, they didn't even mention it.
Dan was like,
Somebody-
oh, man, I know
so-
I wanna be here.
Like
I haven't-
that's a huge part of it. Like what are you
We
doing?
haven't watched it yet, but somebody did send me the clip of Dan Mullen at
So
halftime
weird. Ugh.
of the LSU Florida game in 07, basically like thinking they already won.
Uh-huh.
like and just kind of like laughing and like kind of crapping on
Yeah, he's a little
LSU.
cocky.
Yes.
I am one of the few.
So I love the fact that we came back in the second half.
I am one of the few Mississippi State fans that doesn't really have a problem with Dan Mullen as far as like as a coach.
Oh, Dan's
like,
whatever.
him leaving
Yeah.
to go coach Florida. Like
Dan did
I'm
great
not,
at Mississippi State.
I'm not mad at Dan Mullen for going to Florida. Like
Right.
he was
Yeah.
there at first. Like I don't mind that. Like that was his dream job.
Yeah.
I do find him a little like skeezy, and just in the documentary, he's so goofy. He's so goofy.
He's the thing about Dan Mullen is Dan Mullen's actually I don't know, he's kind of normal is the thing.
Yeah.
Like he made millions of dollars and he's like,
Yeah.
oh wait, it's actually way tighter to live on Lake Oconee and just like do a little studio work.
Yeah.
Still make hundreds of thousands.
Call
and
a
just,
Thursday night game here and there.
Yeah,
He was
like,
able to
hang out
let
with my
go of it.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I talked about it. He misses
Hey, look.
some of the adrenaline, but
I've
like
told this story 1,000 times. Let's go ahead and make it 1,001. When we were at SEC Media Day a couple years ago, when he was still the Florida coach, and it was me, Doring, and Cole Kublik, and we're chopping it up with him. And he was at Florida. He had cool J's on, and we're talking about all the shoes and all the different things. And when Cole said, let's bring it back to football, and Dan Mullen booed him,
yeah,
it was one of the he literally booed Cole Kublik because he said, bring it to football.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely, we can't.
Well,
I
don't
was
think I've heard that
wheezing.
story.
I was the host. I was wheezing, and I couldn't gain control. He said he booed
that
this
man.
man because he's like, let's bring it back to football after like 7 minutes of like just banter.
Yeah.
all right, when we get back, let's close out the show.
OTB, OT.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. These sort of games are when legends are made. These sort of games are when invites to the G team are extended. So, go write your legend like Jaden Daniels did last year. Mason Taylor as
Both of them,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Right after the Alabama
Right after
game.
the Alabama game, got on the G team. Also, women's basketball is cranking up in the background, y'all. Getting ready to defend that title. And remember, every single member, including Coach Mulkey, all a part of the G team. So check them out on social media for all the great content they get going on 24/7 at Get Gordon. Get Gordon, get it done today.
Go to getgordon.com. Remember, there on the website, you can have a chat with them. So if you're already at work, maybe you can't get to the phone, you can always have that conversation with them on the website. You can find past client results, cases they can handle for you, all major social media that handle at Get Gordon. So go to the website, getgordon.com. And remember, no matter where you're listening to us in Louisiana, put the area code before 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us. and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded.
Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Final preps and picks for LSU-Alabama. Phil Steele and the Riot Radio Hours. Join us, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hey, do want to remind you to go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You want to play that Pontoon parlay, DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code Baton Rouge. NBA season's here, so you put in that promo code Baton Rouge your first time sign up, and you bet $5 on the NBA. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Y'all, that is the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And remember, if you're a returning customer, they got all kinds of great game day deals going down for you every single NFL game day. So join up with the boys on the Pontoon Parlay on DraftKings. Right now, Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light Vizio Seltzer and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat.
I keep bringing up the Florida documentary, and I can just
Jake's
feel. I can feel it. It's like an aura. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, surrounding him. Just anger is,
Shout out JB.
Next
At
week,
least
I'll be an
somebody-
a-hole next week to everybody.
At least somebody appreciates comedy. He says, my six-year-old in the car is laughing out loud at T-Bob's Mark Poops and Zach Fartnet. Thank you.
I hope that kid goes to
I
school
don't
and
think,
just
I don't
talks
think
about.
Mark Stoops deserves the Mark Poops like you give it to him.
If you could get I don't want to. Ask the Bench. It's National Sandwich Day. What's your favorite sandwich?
Ooh. Oh, we were talking about this in a text message the other day, and I
Classic
don't want.
Turkey
I
Club's
hate to
hard to beat.
admit
A
this,
what?
but
Turkey
yes,
Club.
but the Turkey Club from Chili's, where we were talking about Chili's the other day.
Yeah, we were. My wife, I
I
love
just
her
love they
Chili's.
buy that giant container of Cisco mayonnaise and they just slather it on there, and it's hard to beat that cheap mayonnaise.
Turkey Club is an all-time good room service food as well. You
Yes.
know, it's
You
never,
can't mess
you're
it
never
up.
going to go wrong with
You
the
get a
Turkey
couple
Club and
meats, some
fries.
cheeses,
Yeah.
and some mayonnaise.
You go to a hotel room and you get
Hotel
Turkey
clubs are
Club
the
and French
best.
fries
Oh.
and like a good Diet Coke.
They give you the glass of ice.
Yeah.
Well, I just drink water.
Well,
Yeah,
nobody's
you're-
perfect.
whatever,
you
nobody's
know?
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
Other than that, you are.
That's my flaw. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take
You
it,
don't
okay?
drink Diet
I'll
Coke.
take
Yeah.
it, yeah. Hey, beat Alabama. Let's go, boys. Football Friday rolls on.
OT.
Agatip Baton Rouge, AgatipBR.com, AgatipBR.com. AC, heating, electrical needs, all there at Agatip. Where you're going to get that service to the highest degree. Monte Cristo's okay. It's a bit much, though.
Who
It's
knows?
a lot. It's messy.
It's a lot.
You're only going to eat half of it, but it's going to be good.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be messy.
It's never messy when you work with Agatip. That's kind of the whole entire point, right? That service to the highest degree is what they hang their hat on. The customer service is second to none. And obviously, they're licensed monitor. The quality of work is going to be fantastic, right? They wouldn't have a business if it wasn't. But again, y'all, when you first work with Agatip, you're going to be so blown away. You're going to be like, okay, I get it now. I'm never going anywhere else. Agatip Baton Rouge, AgatipBR.com.
Look, I don't think Agatip would mind me doing this. They're the proud partner of LSU Athletics. And so, hey, LSU, hey, be the alpha, right? Have alpha energy, okay? Impose your will on Alabama. That's what you do. You go to Tuscaloosa and you show them who's boss, okay? I'm grown, you're a child. I'm sprinting, you're just crawling. AgatipBR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get